Esports. I'm joined by Shadow on the color. How you doing, Shadow?
Well, I'm quite disappointed that patch 9.2 was not today, but I mean, we can still dream that we'll get good League of Legends play.
Yeah, we won't be seeing a new champion out today, but we'll see some good teams playing up against each other. We have two teams that are now joining this league and now starting it off super strong here. They're looking to make a big splash right away. Let's talk a little bit about McMaster. This is a team full of pretty strong carry players that play a pretty diverse amount of champions, with the exception of maybe Looter, who is basically a Rumble god. So I'm kind of hoping he's going to pull that out.
670 games on Rumble and solo queue. But
yeah. He's jumping over into the mid lane here, so we'll see if that's going to end up being playing over that. But also over on the other side, the purple caster minions, they have an emergency sub here, so it's an interesting situation for them. Dream's going to come in here to play support. But this is a team there that is another team that is pretty diverse and plays a bunch of different champions here. We're looking at Snowberry there over in the jungle there. He does play a lot of AD carry, but he's going to be playing jungle for this team, and he's going to hopefully make a big splash for them.
Yeah, I mean, today is the first day of the Imperial Amateur League, and eventually tomorrow will be the first day of Season 9. So both teams are really looking for that win today because they want to start the season off strong, both in this league and, in League of Legends as well. But
yeah, exactly. It's such a good way to start the season if you can come out with a win, and that's what both teams definitely want to do here. And we're seeing two teams that are going to be matched up and want to go head to head. Let's talk lane to lane. Let's start with the top lane for both of these teams. We have Jabbar over on McMaster here. Plays a bunch of Darius and a bunch of Riven. So a big, strong carry. But then we have Spiked Ace over on the other side who has a very interesting champion pool, at least in solo queue, playing some Teemo, some Sion, and some Camille and some Maokai. So pretty diverse over on that side. What are you kind of expecting to see these teams play against each other in the top lane?
Well, if the playstyle kind of reflects the solo queue, which I would hope so, because that's what they have the most practice on. But if we're gonna go strictly by the meta right now and what's really strong, I would expect Spike Days to mainly be defaulted back to the Sion, back to maybe an Ornn. Ornn has been nerfed recently though, or even a Maokai if they decide to go that far. Mainly more of a tank being a stable focus for the team, while I'm expecting Jabbar to be more on a carry champion, something to be very snowbally. I'm expecting an Urgot, maybe an Aatrox, though it doesn't show up on his match history, or he could pull out the Darius that he has the most games on. But
yeah, that could be an interesting situation there. And then the junglers of both teams have very, very interesting gem pools here. So I am Looter, not to be confused with Looter in the mid lane. I am Looter here. Does play a bunch of the Lee Sin in the jungle and a bunch of Jarvan. But that is going to be contested as well. On the other side is Snowberry, who does also play a bunch of Lee Sin as well. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how those picks whether that's going to be a high priority for these teams.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I am Looter is technically not on the main roster of McMasters, yes. And now he's going to be subbed in mainly because their main jungler, Real Darkness, is not going to be here today. So, though it does show in his match history that he does have a few games of jungle, it is kind of weird because he seems like more of a flex player / AD carry player. And I mean, hoping that this is the real account that we're getting data from, but and same thing goes for Snowberry, to be honest. Even though he's listed as jungle, he does kind of seem more preference towards the AD carry, towards more of like a carry type style. But I mean, he does kind of dabble in jungle a little bit. So I mean, it's kind of just, I feel like this match between them two, at least, I am Luda and Snowberry, is going to decide on mainly the picks. The team's going to be probably waiting either until the very end of the pick phase or the very beginning of the pick phase to pick very strong picks for these two junglers, because when you're not comfortable on jungle, your best bet is mainly just to go for a very comfortable jungle pick, because otherwise, not going to do as well.
All right, here we go. We are jumping in to those picks and bands. And quick reminder, too, they are, because of the emergency sub, going to be losing a ban over on the PCM side. So they do lose that as we move into these pick and bans over here.
Yeah. already. We already see Cassiopeia and Lucian off the table, a trend that we've been seeing on the last few leagues. If you've been watching the LPL, the LCK, or the LEC, Cassiopeia being extremely strong in the AD carry. Well, I guess it's now called the bot lane. But,
yeah, I can't confuse you. It used to be a simpler time when you could just call 80 carries, 80 carries. You can't anymore. They made it confusing, but it's fun. It's fun for us, especially as spectators.
Yeah. But we are in a very big flex meta where everything can be played anywhere. So Cassiopeia being played in the top lane, mid lane, and bot lane going to be taken off the table. You see a lot of being banned in basically every game. Lucian already off the table as well, being one of the most prominent AD carries in this patch. And we do see the two tanks coming out, Galio and Urgot. Nothing too surprising as those champions. Very strong.
Just a lot of versatility is being taken off the table. Like you're mentioning, so many of these positions can be played in so many different places that it's just easy to take off the OP off the table that can go anywhere, and we'll go from there. So we're not going to see the Rumble today, as we mentioned earlier. The big 670 games from Looter Rumble that is banned out, but. That being gone now, we're seeing some picks going up. Aatrox being picked up, which is not surprising given what's kind of left here, and Rakan currently being hovered.
I would probably have to guess that PCM is probably going to go for the Xayah Rakan, very strong duo lane. Probably going to be the only ones picked up here, and I'm actually quite surprised. This is looking a lot more like a standard League of Legends pick draft. I mean,
this looks like World's meta. Like this looks like World's meta so far. Camille, a nice pick there. Who knows? Again, could be flex, top lane, jungle. I've seen it played support. Why not?
Yeah, I've seen it played support too.
But that's going to be a good pick. Looking to get some really strong engage over on the PCM side. So we'll see what McMaster's going to answer with on the other side over on blue.
I would have to say that they might pick up the 80 carry here. Israel. Oh,
there we go.
Wow. Yeah, Israel. Very prominent 80k, 4 items. The double tier has come back for the Israel, plus the Klepto buff. Really strong 80k. I feel like he's second to Lucian, maybe even better, depending on the player. But there you go. Going to be picked up. Very safe pick as well.
Yeah, definitely there. It's like they're so far kind of doing that right now. You're seeing the strong engage coming in from PCM, but McMaster is kind of going for potentially a little bit more safer roles there. I say that, and they pick the Jinzhao, who's kind of a big beater in the early game and can really set the tempo for a game.
Yeah, with the changes to Halo Blades, of course, very early game junglers are still very strong, and to match the Camille, he's going to pick up Jinzhao. Not too bad. Now, we have to see what PCM is going to be rounding out. Honestly, for me, I would have to vote that they would pick up either the 80 carry here so they don't get banned out during the second ban phase, or pick up the Scion. Okay. Never mind.
Never mind. They go with the Lissandra there. So they have the heavy engage on the other champions, and now it gives them a little bit of versatility, a little bit of utility coming now in the mid lane. They do have to pick up some damage, which is kind of something they're maybe potentially lacking over there. Of course, Camille can end up doing that, but you need a little bit more follow-up damage as well. So we'll see where that ends up going. But Morgana is going to be banned out here first. Gonna get there, and there's the Xayah that would have been potentially paired with the Rakan, but that is going to be taken out now by McMaster. So looking at hovering on a Braum ban here, which is they're trying to see if they can target the support pool of causation.
Yeah, Braum being somewhat of a decent support in these last few days, though. I'm kind of surprised that Tahm Kench is not being highlighted here. Tahm Kench does do Braum's a little bit better in the protection of the 80k. But I mean, I guess since you do have the Israel, Braum is more preferable. But I've been seeing a lot of Israel Tahm Kench bot lane duos, and it's just very hard to kill that duo, and they're able to scale up for Israel. But
yeah, what's the kind of interesting part of these bans here coming to 80 Gary? It's not necessarily a lot of bans that Oshawott actually necessarily plays. So it's going to be interesting to see what he kind of ends up going with, at least in solo queue, obviously. Does play a little bit of that Jhin though, so they're going to be banning that out, and they're going to see what they end up picking here. Right now, currently hovering the Kaisa. So maybe with that strong engage, they're looking for a good late game team fighting.
Some of the interesting things that I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing is Irelia and Akali. They haven't shown up at this draft at all. And despite, nice silver. But very interesting, mainly due to the fact that Akali and Irelia, despite the nerfs that have been put on them already, and the nerfs that are soon going to be coming in the next patch 9.2, still very strong. Still very strong picks and very prominent. Show up a lot in a lot of games as bans rather than picks, mainly because they're very strong as well. But kind of interesting to see. Siva picked up does kind of fit with the comp a little bit, but not really favoring it.
They're all going forward, and Sivir helps you go forward, and that's potentially what they're doing. They probably need to pick up a nice big tank to kind of match all of that with them. Assuming the Camille goes into the jungle, maybe a nice tank in the top lane would be a nice fit for them in the end. But we're looking at McMaster over here. They're picking up Alistar as their support. It's going to be a good there engage with the Ezreal. It's a slightly awkward, but definitely can do a lot of bursty damage.
Ironically, they could just pick up. Oh, okay. You know what? They'll pick up the Vlad.
There we go. Looking to flex that Vladimir into here. You're going to bring that up likely to the mid lane. We'll see what kind of happens there. Yeah, Sion being hovering now for PCM is going to be locked in. So there you go. There's that tanky boy that I've been talking about that team needs. My early impressions here is I am very impressed with the Purple Caster Minions kind of lineup here, and I kind of like their draft. I like their direction of their draft, but they got some scary burst damage over on McMaster's team as well.
Yeah, I think the Vlad's going to be going into the top lane against, the Sion, who doesn't really, threaten the Vladimir at all. So Vladimir is able to scale up a little bit. If he goes into Lissandra lane, he's going to have a very hard time. But I don't know. I guess it just depends on the players and the preferences. But
yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these two teams kind of lock up. I see a lot of mid-game bursty potential of McMasters, but, that late-game plan is there if they can get to it for the Purple Caster Minions. So a good draft here, and I think two interesting teams are going to be going up head-to-head here now. So while we have a little bit of break, while we're waiting for the teams to get into the game, let's introduce our two teams here. Over on the blue side, we have McMasters. On the top lane, we have Jabbar. In the jungle, I am Looter. Not to be confused with that same guy. In the mid lane is Looter. And then in AD carry position, we have I Want Her, and at support, Causation.
Yeah, on the red side, we got Purple Caster Minions with Spiked Ace in the top lane, Snowberry in the jungle, Daniel in the mid lane, Oshawa, and Dream. Two kind of, well, I would say probably newbies to this roster. In the bot lane, mainly because Oshawa is not listed on the main roster. He's listed as a sub, and Dream being an emergency sub, which caused one of the loss of bans.
Yeah. It's a bit of a tough situation for them. They're going to go with a bot lane that could potentially be exposed here, and that would explain a lot of the Xin Zhao pick and that going over to the bot lane. Because like a level 2 gank is extremely scary when you're the Purple Caster Minion side, because Xin Zhao can come in there, and there's tons of damage that comes into play here when that bot lane is there very early on. So it'll be very interesting to pay attention to the bot lane early and see how that kind of goes. But let's put our attention a little bit to the mid lane. What do you think about the matchup here between Looter and Daniel playing the Lissandra versus the Vladimir?
Well, I mean, once again, it kind of just depends on where we're going to be seeing that flex. Okay. Yeah, it will be confirmed with the Vladimir as Jabal picks up Aatrox, though they could still switch, to be honest, which would be pretty much of a mix-up. But yeah, if it is going to be confirmed, the Vladimir versus the Lissandra, it is going to be pretty interesting. Not until we hit, I think, level 6, mainly because these two champions not really the best at damage in the early game. I mean, Lissandra got a lot of the damage put into a passive, and Vladimir just got put into oblivion with his base damages until later on. So I think mid lane is really just going to depend on the 2v2, the Xin and Vladimir versus the Camille Lissandra, and it kind of just depends on execution, right? Depends on what level, what game state we're at, because it's Xin very strong pick. Honestly, can even duel out the Camille once Camille has lost her very early game advantage. But I mean, you got to look on the side of Purple Caster Minions. Camille Lissandra, lots of CC, a lot of good dueling potential. And you look on the side of McMasters, and you got a knockup from Xin Zhao and some damage from Vladimir.
It's scary. People are potentially just going to get blown up if things go in the way of McMaster here in this game. But like I said before, we do have that late game team fighting potential here when it comes to Purple Caster Minions here. That's really what they're set up for. They're trying to get in there late and trying to get into not into fights early, but definitely will want to fight later in the game. So what do you kind of think about that kind of strategy? They're a little bit all in on that. Are you worried about that if you're on the Purple Caster Minion side, or do you think they can handle it?
Well, it's kind of hard for Purplecast minions because a lot of the advantage comes from this very fine line between early game and mid game. Because Camille has a very good early game advantage. I mean, if you pair that with a Lissandra, of course, because of all of the CC, very strong. But then you transition to the mid game, and you're still very strong. You have Lissandra, you got Camille, and you got the Siva speeding everybody up. But now you have to face a Zinsao, an Aatrox, and potentially a stacked Israel. So, once again, that fine line is going to be disrupted by, I would probably have to say, the junglers in this game, because top lane's going to be a... I would hope that nothing happens in the top lane, because if Aatrox versus Zion, Zion's going to be a brick wall. Aatrox is going to be harassing him. You know, nothing's
not going
to
be easy a lane to gank either with those two champions up there. So you touched on it a little bit, talking about where you think Camille's going to spend some time in the jungle, potentially helping out Lissandra over in the early game. Where do you think, how do you think the pathing is going to go for these two different junglers?
Well, the pattern with Camille has been the red buff or just, the blue buff, level 2 gank or level 3 gank or go into the enemy jungle and kill them, right? I would like to see the same from Snowberry, mainly because they want to get their lanes ahead. When you see a Lissandra that's extremely ahead, when you see a Siva that can wave clear waves with 1 Q or maybe even a W, right? That's scary, right? Snowberry is looking to get those two people ahead. But on the side of I Am Luda, I feel like his mission here is just to negate that. That's all he has to do. He has a Vladimir, he has an Israel, you got scaling, you have, once they hit 3-4 items, you're done. That's your job. Now all you do is you E in and you ult, and they'll do everything else for you, right? But that's what I Am Luda has to do. And he's on this very fine balance that if he negates Snowberry, then Purple Castle minions are actually in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing I always find about Jin Zhao's playstyle. Some people say he's like a little bit of a boring champion because he's a little bit like one-dimensional, but Jin Zhao controls so much of what kind of goes on in the early game. Like you said, in the late game he E's in and ults, and then the rest happens. But so much matters of what Jin Zhao does early, and especially in a composition that they kind of put together now that is really, again, trying to go for that mid game spike there. So that'll be an extremely interesting situation to watch, where I Am Luda and Camille are. And I honestly, even just that first minute, to see where they decide to commit wards, where they decide to commit if they're going to try to invade, where they're going to try to see if they're just going to try to counter wherever Camille goes, trying to keep track of that. I'm actually going to be super interested in the very, very early game, just to kind of see what the game plan is there for both these teams. So last thing we talked about a little bit, but the last lane we haven't really talked about is the bot lane. So we do have Ezreal and Alistar. Again, lots of burst damage potential here, but we also have Sivir and Rakan over on the other side, which again is probably looking to try to survive the laning phase. But what do you think, Shadow? How do you think this laning phase is going to play out?
I think Purple Casa minions, specifically Katsa, their coach, I think they did extremely well with the draft here, mainly because, once again, we've highlighted this, but Oshawa and Dream, two kind of newbies to this roster, I guess, not very used to playing with this roster, and now you got a wave clearing AD carry who can negate most matchups by pressing W and Q and then walking away, and then you got Rakan who can shine by himself, right? And I think that's also why they shied away from the Xayah Rakan, because there's a little bit of synergy that needs to be there when you and when you have two players that don't really play together often. I think that's the right choice. Right. And now Dream has his opportunity to go W into the enemy team and shine and then run away, right? And make his own engages. And this draft was pretty nicely executed for this new bot lane, but I don't think we're going to see anything happening in this bot lane, right? You have Rakan, who's an extremely slippery champion, same with Israel, right? And you have Sivir with the spell shield, who's, once again, like I said, WQ the way of walk away. And you have Alistar, who's a cow. maybe cook some meat up in the bot lane. But... Whoops.
Sorry, my Discord likes to freak out when League of Legends first loads in. Apologize for that. But yeah, it'll definitely be kind of interesting to see if either side decides to play aggressive. Because like you were saying, like Sivir can kind of negate a bunch of things, Rakan can kind of negate a bunch of things. But let's see, like if Ezreal and Alistar decide to be really, really aggressive down there. And again, it might all just depend on junglers. And I think the most interesting matchup in this entire thing is what are these junglers going to do? Because I think, like you said earlier, it's probably going to dictate so much of the pace of this game.
So, There's not much interesting as we load into the game here with the Keystones. Really, the only thing notable was Vladimir with the Phase Rush, and even that is kind of standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot from Vladimir. You see Electrocute, you see Predator, you see the Phase Rush. I don't know, all colors of the rainbow. But so gonna be choosing for the Phase Rush mainly because if you look on the side of Purple Caster Minions, lots of movement speed there, lots of mobility. So just looking to catch up.
Yeah, here we go. We are jumping into Summer's Rift. You're just tuning in. Welcome, everybody, to the first game of the IAL here at Darkstar Gaming. We have McMasters over on the blue side and Purple Caster Minions over on the red side, or the purple side if you are a little old school. Yep. But here we go. These two teams are going to come at each other. Fairly different compositions. Like I said, I'm pretty interested to see where they're going to even start in this early game.
Well, I guess if we're at it, I'm going to have to place my vote on McMasters. I just generally like their comp much better than Purple Caster Minions. I feel like they picked a lot more power picks and feels more comfortable with the team cohesion. But
yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you there on who we think is potentially gonna win this game. I think a lot is working against Purple Caster Minions. They have their emergency sub. They lost the ban. They put together a team comp that is hopefully trying to play safe throughout. But on the other side, they're like, okay, you're gonna try to play safe. We're gonna play a team composition that really wants to get in your face and get fighting here. So we'll see how that goes on. As both teams right now are just sitting on the line of scrimmage here. No craziness happening yet. No one trying to invade anywhere. But they're just going to stand there and, you know, as much as I was saying, oh, I'm super interested in what they all do, they all just kind of line up in a straight line and don't interact with each other. So where they're going to keep staring at each other, I think causation here is just like flirting. I think he knows they're there. So he's just kind of flirting with them, showing them off. Does put on the ward, and 10 gold goes over to the wards the red side as they get rid of the first. They're already winning the game.
Wow, yeah, gold lead.
Got the gold lead. Getting her done.
But yeah, so we're going to see both junglers starting in the top side, and this potentially, once again, brings this whole concept of the Camille level 2 gank. Where is she going to go now after this red buff? Because she can go straight to the mid lane or top lane. Well, I guess not mid lane as we see Lissandra pushing up here, but actually going to go buff to buff, I think.
Yeah, looking for that seems to be the same for Xin Zhao on the other side there. That is I Am Looter playing the Xin Zhao. Nation's gonna jump in there and just, you know, get a little poke dodge. Just remind you, hey, don't be in my range.
So yeah, we're gonna see a red to Scuttle Crab clear from Snowberry, and I think this is very wise, mainly because I Am Looter is gonna try doing a very similar thing, but when he comes to the river, he's going to see the Scuttle Crab is going to be taken already. So, pathing of both junglers already seeming very linear.
Yeah, right now, not opting for, again, the early level 2 ganks, like I said, was potentially possible. Xin Zhao right now. Even though the red side over here, Oshawott and Dream, are just pushing in quite a bit, which is, you know, their prerogative pretty much early on in this game. They don't see anyone else there, but again, they have that safety of that basically that extra ward that was being to them on the river there. So they know they can kind of push in a little bit and aren't super afraid right now of this Xin Zhao.
Okay, I have no clue if I Am Looter has like psychic powers or something, but he goes straight from waves to topside Scuttle. Doesn't check bot lane Scuttle. I think I have no clue what's going on here, but these junglers are going.
Maybe good instincts. Maybe he goes like, they started top, that's likely where he's going to go, so I'm just not even going to bother check it, because that's probably gone. Ends up going to the top side. Maybe, you know, some 9D chess being played over by I Am Looter. Trying to pull that off there, but he is invading over here and taking a little bit of the Raptors, so that's nice too as well. These teams are going on here.
Yeah, nothing extremely interesting here happening in this early game. Kind of interesting, considering the early game aggression, but once again, it's going to be up to these junglers in the pathing. No, I don't really think we're going to see any solo kills or even 2v2s in this game because there's no really aggressive summoner spells otherwise taken by the supports.
Yeah, the Purple Caster Minions there, of course, but there's safer team composition. They're looking to go back there. Speaking of that, actually, we're seeing Rakan jumping over here. We are getting that fight over here. Snowberry has made its way over here too as well. I Want Her is going to go down. First Blood's going to go over to the Rakan. That is a nice play by Dream to make that happen. The emergency sub getting over here and securing the first kill for his team.
Huh. Well, he cleared his blue side jungle and went down bot lane. That is... I don't really know what to say about that because if you see what I Am Ludo just backed, you would think that like if you look at if you're I want her causation, you look at your map saying like, hey, I'm Luda is at the Krugs. Well, what would be the possibility of Snowberry being at our Krugs?
Yeah,
possibility's high, and we're gonna find that one out really quick.
Yeah, there you go. Bit of a misstep there, but nice play there by Dream to make that play happen. Of course, you're like, oh, that kill should have went to the 80k or whatever. You'll take it, right? First blood's first blood, and you take it rather than giving it up there. So good job by the team. Again, the team that was expecting to be the more late game oriented team getting the first kill. It doesn't mean their gold is just still even at this time, but once again, you'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one kind of saving grace for I Want Her is that Dream was the one that picked it up, unfortunately, I think due to the Ignite, so nothing too big happening, but this is
Jabbar putting on some damage over on the Spiked Ace over here. Jabbar actually also winning the CS battle in the top lane by 11 and forcing Spiked Ace to back, so good advantage going over on the top lane for Aatrox, but potentially not too big of a surprise there.
Yeah, anytime we look up, the same thing's gonna happen, but we do see
a little bit of fight here. Stillberry on I Am Looter on top of her. Dream is going to be able to enjoy this fight, forcing the flash out of I Am Looter to come back. But here comes the rest of the McMaster team here. Causation's going to jump into this fight to try to get things going, but it's really just going to force him to back off. And no kills, no harm had for either team.
That's quite interesting, yeah. I mean, you kind of see the individual talent coming in, Dream just roaming with Snowberry. I think a lot of good communications happening there. Causation tried to do the same thing, but he was a little bit late on the rotation, and I Am Looter ends up losing, I think, a few of his waves and his flash.
Yeah, they're just going to be able to get that out of that jungler there. Oh, I hear a little bit of a solo fight going over here in the middle lane. Ult's coming out, but ended up being fine. Daniel's going to be able to get out of there and is currently enjoying a 6 CS lead too as well in this facet. So able to kind of keep the gold even there, even though the CS is kind of going the other way in the top lane. But
yeah, I mean, if you do kind of look at the map a little bit here, we do kind of see the difference in vision already happening. Purple Cats and minions already have control of this bot lane, Riverside, and unfortunately for them, it is going to be a Cloud Drake, so Dragon Control, not the most beneficial thing. But
if there was a team composition that maybe would like the Cloud Drake on this team, it would actually be McMaster. So that is something you potentially do just really want to deny, because you don't want Jin Zhao to be able to run across this map as super fast. So while it's not flashy, not super exciting, that Cloud Drake, it is something that you don't want in the other team's hands. Speaking of the other team, here they come here. I Am Looter's now on top of Oshawott. Gonna be able to take him down. I Am Looter's gonna be able to pick up a kill on the gang.
I mean, I think I Am Looter just literally walked straight from base to there, to be honest. Because
didn't even need
his yeah, his red buff is still up, so I think, yeah, he just walked straight from base as he is at Coalfields. But so I do kind of like this positioning from Jabbar here. You kind of do see the respect towards Snowberry, because we did see I Am Looter down in the bot lane. But going back to that whole dragon thing, it is kind of interesting. You have to find this balance between trying to deny dragons from the enemy team, and finding drakes for yourself. Because if they do deny this Cloud Drake from McMasters, who arguably do benefit from the Cloud Drake more, you kind of have to ask yourself, how does this game look in 5 minutes when the next dragon's comes? Right?
Oh yeah, Cloud Drake's definitely one of those ones that you don't want to give up other positions. You don't want to give up a tower for you to get Cloud Drake. That's not even worth it for terms of the goal. But it's still just a thing. If you can get that incidental value from it, it's one of those dragons you do want to take it in this case. So it'll be interesting to see what priority either team puts on it. Right now, not a lot of warding priority being put on it from the blue side right now. You're not super worried about it, but they, are now currently enjoying a 500 gold lead after that kill. And something I Am Looter will want to continue to enjoy and have. 10 CS lead still up for Jabber as well, as he's just kind of almost free farming over on the top side without much interference from either jungler.
They're just gonna take it. Well, okay. I'm
we were talking about how, see if they're gonna put any priority on it. They don't put any priority. Like I said, there's no wards over there. The jungler's over on the top side. They get it for free. Like I said, you'll take that incidental value.
Alright, it's actually not too bad, mainly because if you look at the next Drake, it's actually going to be Ocean Drake, so...
Certainly be happy about that if you're either team able to take it. Here currently, as we do a quick gold check, 1,000 gold lead currently being enjoyed by McMaster over here on the blue side. They've kind of controlled a little bit of the tempo of the play. There was a nice first kill that was a very good play by Dream early on that happened, but it later eventually answered by I Am Looter as he ganked towards the bot lane as maybe Oshawa and Co. was just a little bit too comfortable out there.
Yeah.
Both teams right now are just kind of feeling each other out a little bit here, but a little bit of momentum in favor of McMaster.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be honest, you can kind of see the map being split in half already, mainly because if you look on the side of McMaster's red side, you do have Snowberry already invading and getting some good vision in that jungle, so I Am Ludo, who's going to be coming over to his red side, going to be spotted, or not, as that ward actually dissipates. Huh. Guess so. So, I Am Ludo is going to be doing the exact same thing he did 3 minutes ago. You see the pink ward in that bottom bush, and we're going to see if anything happens here, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll see what they kind of end up doing there. We did just see Daniel over there putting on the ultimate onto Looter, enjoying a almost 20 CS lead himself over there. But here comes the engage now. Dream's going to have to jump away and get out. The ult's going to come out of the Ezreal's not going to be able to get contact there, so everyone's going to end up living.
Ooh.
Good little escape. On the skin of his teeth is his Dream.
That was Guardian, but a lot of things will burn there. We have the flash from Causation plus Ignite burned, but for actually nothing, to be honest. Dream just got out scot-free, and a play that was supposed to net them a kill doesn't net anything.
Yeah, exactly. Not able to answer that, not able to bring anything there from the Zhao. Right now, we haven't seen a whole lot from Snowberry lately. I'm curious what Snowberry's kind of plan is going to do over here. We're seeing a bit of a 1v1 fight, a bunch of damage going on to Spiked Ace over on the top side. And speaking of Snowberry is over on this top side here, so see if they can do anything about that. Likely just going to clear that ward there, not have much time to do anything else, or is actually to go in for this. Never mind, Snowberry's going to come on to Jabbar here. Jabbar's going to try to get out the ultimatum. Is going to come down. They're trying to get this down, get enough damage, going to at least pop the passive out of Aatrox. Probably nothing more, though.
Oh, it might be. No mind.
Oh, Causation over here, forcing Dream out of the river. Get the back over there. So a little bit of pressure relieved on Spike Days. Spike Days actually has done a decent job now. We were talking about the CS lead that Jabbar had earlier, but Spike Days is kind of catching up on that front there. But is able to at least lately have been keeping up and not continuing a bleed of that CS that was originally happening in this game.
So I don't know if both teams are doing this intentionally, but we are at kind of a stalemate right now where nothing else on the map is extremely important except for that Rift Hill that we're actually seeing people congregate over.
Yeah, here we go. They're now staring at Imperial. Daniel's over here now, and so is Snowberry. So you force them off. The Ezreal ult's going to come in and put a little bit more damage over here on both teams. Proto Belt popped over here by Looter, and it's going to be secured now by I Am Looter. They're going to be able to pick this up. Let's see if a fight does break loose over here. Actually, a fight's breaking loose over on the bot side at the same time as this fight going on in the jungle. A bunch of people are going down. The first person to go down is I Am Looter. Snowberry's going to be able to pick up that one. Spiked Ace is going to be able to pick up another kill. Looter's the next target over here. He's going to be taken down by Daniel, and it ends up being a 3-for-1 in favor of the purple caster minions.
However, they do pick up, McMasters do pick up the Rift Hill, but I'm not sure if that was worth the pay. Oh, more fighting.
Here we go, the teleport's coming in right now over here. Daniel's going to come on to Causation. Oshawott going to be able to pick up that kill. That's a nice one for the AD carry there. Daniel now looking over at I Want Her, but I Want Her to be able to get away. And that's going to be a good little kill for the AD carry who has some gold to spend right now. It's going to go back to base and enjoy that little bit of a kill there to get that.
So ironically, that entire fight actually started from the gank top lane by Snowberry because Jabal comes into the fight a little bit less HP than normal. Oh, that's a little bit of a poke.
Yep. Jabbar put on damage. These two are fighting each other.
Yeah,
just get straight to the lane and just instantly start fighting each other. Forget the minions.
Yeah, nothing's really going to net from this, to be honest. But
yeah, well, Snowberry is here.
Oh, yeah.
See if Snowberry's going to do anything from it. Just kind of hanging out in the bush. Probably wanted to see if Jabbar uses out any cooldowns for entering this gauge here. There we go. There's one attack there. Also coming to join this fight is Dream, so this is going to be enough for them to kill on Jabbar. The Hextech Ultimatum's going to come down. Dream is now officially joined this fight there. He's going to take him out. Snowbar is going to pick up that kill on Jabbar.
Huh. Dream is doing extremely well on these realms, especially with the Merc Treads, which you'd typically see Mobies. But
Yeah, doing great. Well, oh, I'm going to interrupt myself here as Daniel is right over here getting ganked over here by Causation. But going to be able to escape away from there. Lissandra, a pretty safe champion for that reason. But anyway, like I was trying to say, Dream here, the emergency substitute, has actually been doing so much to dictate the play of this team, which is really surprising.
Yeah, and I mean, oh god.
Speaking of dictating the play, Dream comes in on top of I Am Looter. He tries to ult them away, but is it enough for him to get away? He's going to try to E over towards the minion and then flashes away. So he's going to escape, but that's a flash gone and a big cooldown spent by I Am Looter.
And this all just stems from the fact that bot lane is an extremely passive lane.
Constant action over here. Fight going on in the mid lane. Looter's going to be taken down. Snowberry going to pick up a kill here. That's a third of the game. Earlier when I was saying, oh, Snowberry's not doing a whole lot, has suddenly been doing so much lately. Causation kind of flirting over here with... That looks like a little bit of a bait. I'm like, Causation, don't do it. But doesn't end up doing there. But yeah, everything kind of working in favor of the purple caster minions right now.
At this point, when you're McMaster, you kind of just have to ask yourself, and especially ask Causation, what is he doing bot lane? Because if you looked at that entire engagement where Luda died in the mid lane, Causation was sitting bot lane, and it wasn't until after he dies that he starts rotating mid lane after all the action has gone, and he's sitting there hovering around his AD carry, who isn't in any immediate threat, and is in Israel, and has both sums up, right?
Yeah, that's the thing with playing Alistar. Like, it's not... You know, sometimes, you know, you play a support and you're just babying your AD carry, but right now with Ezreal, who's so safe on their own, you could definitely leave Ezreal on. You got to roam a lot as that Alistar, because right now you're being outplayed by Dream in a lot of ways, and that's really been the difference in this game.
And I mean, we talked about that neutralization. Look at Siva. All she does is walk up and wave clear the wave. I mean, maybe put an auto in Israel too, but that's all that's happening in this lane. It's Israel and Siva.
Here we go. Snowberry is coming in now here. I Am Looter is in this fight as well. He's going to knock him in towards the tower. Snowberry's going to go golden to try to stay alive long enough here. It's going to be a big fight. Who's going to go down first? It's going to be Snowberry, as I Want Her is going to be able to pick up that kill. They're going to engage over to the other side here now. They're going to be able to jump in. Oshawott going to take some damage here. He's going to be forced to flash out. So, nice little counter gank there. It happens as I Am Looter was waiting in the bushes for that one.
And we see Ludo using the Rift Tilt in the top lane, not actually gaining anything, to be honest, which is quite surprising because she just got some damage on the Took. Typically, Rift Tilt is used to get those armor platings to get some extra boost of gold for the user, but otherwise, it was just kind of a useless sacrifice of 3 members of the team early in the game. But
yeah, they lose that. They lose the kill in the bot lane. They also lose the dragon, so Ocean Drake is going to go over towards the McMaster side there. So they're climbing back into this game. They're only 1,000 gold behind. So they're not in too bad of a position here.
So, 1,000 gold right now is not extremely important because if you look on the item advantage for both teams, it's absolutely nothing. Ironically, Israel actually has more gold than the server if you look at his items, but if the gold lead of 1K was centered more around, let's say, Daniel or Snowberry, then we would have a problem. But unfortunately, all those kills have been separated in a way that it's kind of even right now.
Right. So, and that being said, as all the talk we did during Champions Select is that PCM here is the late game team. So they'll take, you know, this 1,000 gold league and being kind of even through most of this game because you kind of want to stay kind of even for a long time, and you don't want the McMaster team start snowballing. So if you consider that, it's actually a pretty decent advantage over here for PCM. But we'll see what they do with that. There's still plenty of opportunity for McMaster to be in this game and make some big plays here. Bar getting knocked up by Spiked Ace on top lane. You trade a little bit of damage here. These two like fighting each other. Meanwhile, fight breaks out over in the river here. Everyone's putting him down. Ezreal is coming from the bot lane. A little bit more damage. And I Am Looter is going to pick up the first game on that. Dream is going to go down there. And there we go. That's the kind of plays. Those are the kind of fights that McMaster want to take to get themselves back into this one.
And this is exactly why we keep seeing Dream roam around, because you don't want to fight. You don't want to take these full-on 4v4 team fights, or I guess 3v3 in that case, fights that we were seeing. We want to see picks. We want to see the Camille, the Lissandra, the Rakan being utilized to their fullest potential. But what happens when we go onto a full-on 3v3 comp? They lose. They aren't able to win because of the nature of the champions that they're playing. and they end up seceding some advantage. The gold lead is still the same, but if you look on the bot side jungle, we now have much more wards in favor of McMasters, and we also see I Am Luda classic bot lane gank in the bushes.
I'm Looter. Yeah, definitely setting up the tents over here in the bot lane, doing everything they can for I Want Her to get there.
Here we go. Good ball.
Bit of a race here to try to get this first turret here, but red team's gonna be able to pull it off. PCM is gonna get that turret down first, get the extra first brick gold rather for that one there.
Yeah,
both teams just kind of pushing.
It's only around 200 gold. Gold lead still stays the same because of it, but really the biggest threat comes from Ludo right now because he's in the mid lane. What he has to do is wave clear, but okay then.
That mid tower's actually almost down as well. Lots of fighting going all over the map here. Little tiny skirmishes here. The Hex Flash comes out from Causation. They're going to be able to get this tower again. The teleport is going to come through. Bart's going to come here. Dream is looking to make it engage there. The follow-up's coming from Spiked Ace. A little bit of a whiff here. Oh, and a nice little escape there, but Daniel's going to be able to pick up that kill. Causation now is in a bunch of trouble. The entire JCM team is right there to take him out. And Oshawa's going to be able to pick up that kill. 2 for 0 now in favor of PCM as McMaster is just trying to take this mid tower as some sort of consolation prize.
I feel like PMC actually lose out on that trade. They lose an inner bot lane turret and a mid lane turret, and McMaster's actually just open up the map for themselves.
Yeah,
well, PMC wastes 2 teleports to get 2 kills with no shutdown gold, and they weren't able to capitalize on that mid lane turret.
See, that's why you're the color caster. You see those things and are smarter than me. So there you go. Yeah, that's a very, very good point there. It's probably mostly an advantage now going over the blue side for all the reasons you just said. So, you know, I just see flashy kills and get excited. That's my job, okay? So no one in chat get mad at me for being dumb.
I was actually a little bit surprised when I saw I Want Her not pick up the tier immediately after he picks up the Manamune, but he picks it up now with... How many stacks does this thing have? He has 46. He actually just picked it up. Oh, that is delaying his power spike by a lot. Because once you get that Sales Embrace, and I've actually been seeing... Oh, a little bit of poking.
Yeah, a little of a fight here. Going on Spiked Ace. There's 3 members here. The Flash did come out from Spiked Ace, but yeah, just the Scion, exactly like you said. Just too tanky.
But... yeah, once you pick up that Sales Embrace, once you pick up the AP, it's because Israel's ulti got changed, where it hits like a truck now. Oh my god.
Oh, here we go. Oh, anything? Nothing? Nothing at all.
But I'm kind of interested. Oh, we're gonna be seeing some motion.
Yeah, Jabbar and Snowbear are fighting over here. Oshawa's gonna join this fight over here. Jabbar's gonna go down real low. The pass gonna put up. He's gonna resurrect here just in time for the rest of his team to kind of catch up here. Both teams fighting over this Ocean Drake right now. Just gonna drop a pink ward, back off a little bit here. Again, yeah, that passive is pot for Jabbar, so not to be able to kind of use that in the middle of a big team fight here. So they might leave this one. I wouldn't spend too many resources trying to fight over this Drake if I was on the McMaster team. Exactly that. They're actually just gonna back off. In fact, both teams actually just back off.
Okay, if I was McMaster's right now, I would secede this Drake. I would bait the enemy team into going for this Drake, but not fight for it. Because if you saw, McMaster's had 5 people piled down there in the bot lane, but achieved absolutely nothing. Nothing that gives them to an advantage or, you know, increases their lead or, you know, I guess gets back their lead.
Right.
But it's kind of interesting because we want to see some... from McMaster's, I want to see, because they have Jabbar who has teleport much sooner than Spiked Ace and Daniel. I want to see them start pressuring turrets instead of this Drake. This is just an Ocean Drake. There's nothing really significant about one Ocean Drake giving it over to Purple Castle minions, but the real question is, what are you going to capitalize off of 4 members down here, and 4 members down here trying to pick up this Drake?
Yeah, exactly.
Really, the only advantage that they get is that I Want Her pushes a minion wave into the turret.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be able to get that.
But
a lot of resources committed for the Ocean Drake, but see what their next game plan is after that. Right now, they're just trying to get deep wards over into the McMaster jungle here. They do have quite a bit of them. Nice pink ward. Kind of in one of my favorite spots in the game.
But so, as we take somewhat of a relaxed approach, I don't think either one of these teams are going to be doing Baron anytime soon. Honestly, I don't think they have the DPS too. But map's going to be split in half. Jabbar on the wrong half, but going to be safely getting out of there, but Deathbush coming out from PM at C.
Yeah, they're all seeing right there. Gonna go after Looter right now. The Hextech Ultimatum's gonna come through.
Ooh.
Ultimate's coming down from Looter, trying to stay alive. Gonna also use golden there. No, go down. Dream's gonna end up picking up that kill. Fight continues to break loose. Snowberry's gonna jump over here on top of Jabbar. Not quite enough to kill him, but here comes Spiked Ace. Gonna pop that passive once again. Looter's gonna go down real low. Try to at least trade a kill. It's not gonna be able to pull it off. Snowberry's gonna be able to pick up that one. Turret's gonna go down over on the top side, but this mid-tier 2 turret is going to go down as well. Oh, wait, Snowberry. Oh, feels bad, man.
Unfortunately, yeah, McMasters have no wave clear to block this. I don't think they'll lose the inhib turret, hopefully, but yeah, with I Want Her coming through. But kind of interesting that they chose to engage that when clearly I Want Her is in the top lane picking up a turret. They do pick up a turret for their troubles, but, you know.
But lose potentially a more important one. In this whole time now, Jabbar's looking to come in here and fight here. Remember, Jabbar's passive's already been popped, so he's not going to be able to survive there. Daniel's going to be able to pick up that kill. Causation's going to go down next. That's a double kill going over to Daniel. Looking at I Want Her next, but I Want Her's going to get away from there, and a questionable fight taken by the McMaster team.
Yeah, you kind of have to wonder who called that fight. See 3 members, a full HP Scion, trying to back. And then you go in without any ults. It's kind of questionable.
Yeah, pretty questionable. Especially, like, yeah, exactly like I mentioned, this passive already popped and going for it.
Textbook Baron. This is textbook Baron. They have a tank, but
yep. Looking up and actually doing it. Gonna jump over here. We're seeing them take their blue buff here. They don't end up taking the Baron. Everyone's gonna kind of back off here. Reset here a little bit.
Yeah, TP advantage for. McMasters is gone now with Spiked Ace and Daniel's teleport 10 seconds-ish, something like that. But and now we're going to be trying to do the Baron dance. Honestly, Dragon isn't spawning soon, though Dragon is an Infernal. Somewhat good news for depending on which team that you're trying to look for, but otherwise, we're just going to be doing the Baron dance for the next 3 or 4 minutes because PCM actually have the resources to do this now.
Yeah. Purple Caster Minions playing in a very impressive game throughout. We're looking at the scores. 4-0-7 right now is Daniel. Enjoying just a good, steady game where they've been playing so well in the team fights. And of course, like we mentioned, Dream, this emergency substitute, has proved to be really, really strong throughout this game.
Yeah, so we're just going to see pushing happening in the spot lane, and I think Spectace has gotten to the point where he doesn't really feel any threat from Jabal, but we're going to see some rotates into this top lane. Nothing too extremely special just yet, but the real PowerPoint right now is you want to just watch the bot lane, because whoever wins this fight, or whoever is forced to back, the other one now has the advantage. Right? And you're just gonna have to watch, and that's why you see Spike Days. He, even though it kind of looked like he was winning the trade, he wants to back. He wants to get full HP, and he wants to get a few items because he knows the fight's gonna be happening like right now.
Yeah, McMaster looked like they really wanted to get on the Daniel there, but Daniel's gonna get away. Again, Lissandra, pretty safe champion for that. Meanwhile, the mid lane just being pushed in by Oshawott here, giving themselves mid lane priority, giving themselves options to either ward the bottom side or the top side of the jungle. Potentially go for that Drake spawning in 40 seconds, or again, yeah, the Baron, of course, they want to thread in as well. But yeah, they are opting to set wards over onto the Drake side here. Kind of take advantage. Actually, they don't set up wards, they just walk past it. Yeah. Maybe they just didn't have any wards in their inventory, so there's that.
This is quite weird. I mean, they get a turret but lose 4 members, and I feel like for me, this is prime time to do Baron.
Yeah,
for
exactly. McMaster's going to go straight for this as they reveal too many of them over onto the bottom side here. We'll see if they're going to be able to run at this now.
Damage is low.
Yeah, down to half health here. Teleport coming in from Jabars are coming in here now, but here come
immediately.
Purple Caster Minions now as they're coming in. Ultimate coming through from Spike. Ace going to jump into this fight now. It's breaking loose. I Want Her's going to go real low, real fast in this fight. Spike Ace going to pick up the first kill of this fight to be answered on the other side by Oshawott. Ludo's going to go down. Double kill now comes through for Oshawott here, and it's going to be followed up by Daniel getting another one, and that's an ace! And that's it. That's going to be the Baron going over to Purple Caster Minions in a clean fight.
Well, I did say early on this cast that 4v4 and 3v3s for PMC is not great, but 4 on 5v5s is little Sandra shines, and even Silver with the Ricochet and the Q buff. But
I think it was the right call for McMaster. Like,
they didn't have the decisiveness. They didn't have the decisiveness to do so, because if you look on the side of McMaster's, Jabbar teleported late when the Baron was at half HP, and they had a bunch of time to take it down. I mean, nobody used Flash. Nobody even decided to look for, any opportunities. They wanted to do the Baron, and then at some point they decided to turn on the enemy team while only be weakened by Baron. And, not many things were actually burned in that. I mean, I think, that's 4 flashes still up for McMaster's, and they gave up Baron for it.
Yeah. That's going to be a huge swing going on over to the Purple Caster Minions now. They get that. They also get that Infernal Drake as well pretty easily and pretty much for free there. So everything kind of in favor of them now. So if you're on the McMaster side here, what are you thinking about to try to get back into this game?
Well, they're going to have to succeed a lot of things. I mean, really the prime 2 targets right now is the top inner turret and the bot inner turret. Both of them probably going to be taken extremely easy depending on how PMC rotates, or if they're just going to run it down mid. If I was McMaster's, I would probably have to... You're probably looking at least 1 inhib lost here. One inhib's probably going to be lost from this build, and a PMC plays it as standard. But if you see on Israel's side, he has 500 stacks out of 700 on that tier. And he's... Please don't engage. Oh, no.
Well, Dream wants to go for it. Here comes the rest of the team here. Dream's going to go down right away from that one. Jabbar's going to be able to pick up the kill here, but the rest of the team seeing if they're going to fight for here. Daniel is now teleported in there. Going to join this fight. Spike Ace is going to be able to pick up a kill here now, so that is now a 1-for-1 as the fight continues. Daniel's going to pick up another one here. 2-for-1. Double kill goes over to Spike Ace, and they're going to finish off Looter right after that. Junius ends. Triple kill comes through for Spike Ace. Only member left is Causation, and he's running home.
Death timers are short enough that everybody will be up by the time that PMC... No? Or not. Maybe I'm overestimating. Yeah, minion movement speed will buff, so they're actually a little bit faster, so this might be actually end game if they're going to be looking for it. Look how fast they're going to be taking down those turrets.
I am Looter's going to be up in 10 seconds here, but it's not going to be enough here. Beautiful play by PCM. Yeah. Purple Caster Minions, they're going to pick up the first win.
Oh, that's painful.
So great job. That's painful all around.
Oh, okay. That happened.
Would you look at that? So, this game kind of didn't go how we thought it would.
That last fight that ended up losing the game, I don't understand what McMaster's plan was. We have I Am Ludo and Jabbar staring Wakan straight in the face and saying, please engage on us. And please kill us. And when they do kill Dream, the support, and burn everything on the support, they're like, hey guys, you know what's a good idea? Fighting.
Fighting.
We are 9k gold behind. Let's fight.
I mean, I guess at the same time, you kind of know it's just desperation time. I guess you're just trying to go for it. It's not super great, but I am so impressed. Everything we kind of said that was not in favor for Purple Caster Minions, the emergency sub, this team composition that probably was trying to play safe until late game, kind of a little bit of everything we predicted did look bad by us because they were the aggressive team. This emergency sub dictated the play for their team, and it was absolutely nuts. So we're going to take a quick break here before the second game here, and we'll be back with more Darkstar Gaming action in a little bit. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Darkstar Gaming here. Day one of the Imperial Amateur League. We have two teams that are fighting it out here in McMaster Academy and Purple Caster Minions. Purple Caster Minions took game one, and now we're on to game two to see how they're going to answer back. ADC 2K19 LOL is also going to come back into this game.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, wasn't able to make game one, but his team was able to pick up a win, so pretty happy about that if you're on their team.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they were looking pretty strong going into the mid/late game, depending on what you consider it. But early game, I think, is where both teams kind of struggle a little bit. We saw a little bit of a lull where both teams were kind of lost on what to do. But I mean, later in the game, we did see Purple Cast Minions mainly relying on the mechanics, mainly relying on their confidence as players, which I do love to see in leagues such as this, kind of more amateur leagues where players are more confident in their plays and just can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and that just seemed to be the main difference in this game was that even though the composition said McMaster was going to be really confident and kind of go in and go hard, that's just not what they did. And if you're not going to do that with that composition, you're going to lose more games against a more confident team. So that just did seem to be the major difference there. So we'll see if McMaster has an answer back now. They move on to the red side, and Purple Caster Minions are now over onto the blue side as we jump into these picks and bans between these two teams. So let's see what they try to do a little differently here.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting since on the red side, they will have the counter pick. I mean, last draft was given to the Scion, which was kind of interesting, but I mean, we'll have to see what was going to be in. I'm going to be assuming that most of the bans are going to be the same: Cassiopeia, Lucian, Galio, Urgot, probably the Rumble, because you don't really want to give that over.
Yeah. So, but yeah, exactly. They ban out the Cassiopeia, as you just mentioned, so that's gone already there. See what they kind of go over the other side. Again, I'm kind of hoping the Rumble kind of comes through. There's part of me that's just like,
there you go.
As they instantly are hovering, banning it right now.
I don't know, man. You go to op.g. Hey, look, the top winner. 600 games on Rumble. Might want to ban that one.
I know, but my favorite things of these amateur leagues is when one tricks get to play their champion. But not today. It's not going to happen. Being denied by the Purple Caster Minions there. Again, because of the emergency sub, they are missing out that first ban, by the way. So if you're just tuning in, that is the thing that happened. The Sivir being banned out, they did not like how much damage was actually put through. I don't really think that was a difference maker in the other game, but
if you're gonna ban somebody, ban Lissandra.
Yeah,
ban
the Rakan.
Yeah, even the Rakan, I guess the roaming potential, but
yeah,
the Sivir. I guess the reasoning here is from the coach is that the Sivir neutralized the bot lane too much.
Right.
The lane that they were looking for. And I mean, we kind of saw from I Want Her in Causation, they were wanting to 2v2, they were wanting to look for the fight, but Sivir negated that.
Right, that's true. That is completely fair.
So perhaps that's what they're going for.
Yeah, but right now, I think about the last draft, and you see the priority they put on Rakan onto the support, and it worked out so well. I'm surprised they don't ban it out here. They do end up banning the Lucian over on the other side. Aatrox banned over by Purple Caster Minions. So I wouldn't be completely surprised if this is a Rakan first pick.
Man. We have a lot more power picks open in the game right now. Galio, Urgot are the two main priorities. Camille, I mean, I think, Lissandra is still up in the game. There's the Galio pick. Oh, boy.
They end up going with that, and it is strong right now in this meta over here at the tail end of Season 8, or the preseason, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, Galio is a really strong pick for Purple Caster Minions right now.
I think McMaster's just go with the standard pickup. Okay, not Malzahar, but pick up the Israel, who is doing pretty well. Pick up an Urgot, right? Pick up the power picks, the things that will help you win the. Oh my god.
Oh no. Okay. Ooh. Well, they just think they. Well, I don't know. Malzahar's pick, I probably don't completely understand. Usually, Malzahar's pick to shut down a mid laner, but if the enemy mid laner ends up being Galio, are you trying to shut that down? Like, I don't 100% get it, but maybe it's a comfort pick at this point. And sometimes after a big loss, you just pick comfort pick.
Yeah, for sure.
It's what it is. It's a weird to put that high priority in it, first pick, but they are going to look like they're going to pick up the Urgot here, which is something we said is pretty powerful right now in this meta. So there you go. They do end up with the Urgot.
All right, so PCM have prime duty to start picking up the remnants to make their last team comp much better. I'm guessing they just pick up Rakan Camille. There's no reason not to, right? You have the Galio, you have the already follow-up engaged Camille, Rakan, absolutely nothing that Malzahar and even Urgot, for that sake, very immobile champions can do anymore. Camille with the Hextech Ultimatum, with the Hero's Entrance, there's nothing they can do. The dead if Camille gets on them.
Yeah, definitely. And there you go. They do pick up that Camille with 10 seconds left, we'll see what the other one's picking up. But again, they're looking for that go forward, go at them composition here, hovering over that Rakan. That probably should have been banned on the server, but whatever. That's what happened. And boom, they do that. And yeah, this composition is looking real nice once again for PCM.
What do you pick up if you're McMasters? Like, you could pick up maybe a Tom Kench if they're comfortable.
Yeah, I was going to say Tom Kench.
Pick
that
up
was probably
a bomb? Something defensive? Because there has to be a stable damage source for McMasters here.
Mm-hmm.
But can't get dove on by the backline threat, and they're going to add on to that with the tank and Sejuani?
So,
which I'm not a big fan of.
It looks more like right now McMaster is just picking a composition that they want to play as opposed to picking against what PCM is doing, which is, again, sometimes after a loss, you just gotta like refocus and go like, let's just play our game and what we think we know we do well, and that's what it seems like McMaster is doing right now. So while we're saying like, yeah, this is the obvious thing you should do, you need to be picking up Tom Kench, you need to be doing something about what they're doing, but maybe they go, forget all that, let's just try to play our game. We're seeing Zaya being banned out here, so that's not going to be the pickup. Even though they've kind of shown that wasn't necessarily what they're interested in with playing with the Rakan, but looking at banning that Ezreal, which, I kind of thought maybe McMaster would try to pick up again over on the other side, but it is pretty bannable here. That safe AD carry that, had some potential to do things in that last game, but is being banned out now. Kind of expect both sides to continue banning AD carries.
And the question now is that for McMasters is you look at 480 carry bands and you kind of ask yourself, what's left?
Yeah, what do we play now?
and what happens? Because most of these guys are mobile 80 carries, and what's left on the table is immobile 80 carries that need to be protected. And you look at PCM with the backline that you have a Khan, you have a Camille, you have Galio trying to jump on the 80 carry who's probably going to be immobile.
Mm-hmm.
Then what do you do? Where's your damage source now?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like a Jhin or something with what they're trying to do. But again, that's another immobile. It's a bit scary, but something like that potentially. What McMaster's planning over here. We're seeing the Morgana being hovered as the ban here. I imagine that'll be locked in. Yes, so that'll be the final ban there for PCM here. So we'll see what McMaster kind of end up deciding. I wouldn't even be surprised if they absolutely save the 80 carry pick for last.
Yeah,
but see what they pick here right now.
It's just kind of peculiar on McMaster's draft, mainly because you pick up Malzahos and okay, that's a pick.
That's like I like Leona in general. I don't want to just harp on McMaster here because they're good players. They kind of know what they're going. I like Leona in general. Sometimes it does have a lot of potential to kind of get in there and fight. It's a bit awkward with their current composition, but again, it kind of depends what they end up picking up their final 80 carry there. Something that could follow up well could potentially be a good pick for McMaster. So they have this front line. They're the ones trying to set up the team fighting potential here now. So we'll see if they kind of end up with that. Kaisa gets picked up by Purple Caster minions. It was kind of hovered last time. They ended up flexing the Sivir. And again, I would not be surprised by this pick once again.
And what do you pick as your 80k? Like, now they're trying to fight aggression with aggression. That's why they picked up Sejuani. That's why they picked up Leona. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up a Vayne or a Twitch. Champions that have been more prevalent with a few buffs.
If they didn't ban the Lucian themselves, I would say Lucian would be
Lucian. But I mean, like, that's all that I can think of right now. Maybe even a Kalista.
Or maybe they're going for the maximum spice and they're picking a mage right now.
Oh,
baby! Okay. Is that Urgot 80 carry then?
I think it'd be Malzahar bot, right?
Or Malzahar bot? Yeah, Leona Malzahar. It's a thing. Could be a thing.
Okay.
So yeah, they are gonna go for the full spice and go for the mage in the bot lane or something like that. So interesting choices over here by the McMaster team. They're bringing out the full spice here into game 2. Again, if you're just joining us, Purple Caster's minion did win game 1 now, so they have the advantage there, and they're going to try to keep that carrying over. So, yeah, what's your first impressions of this draft?
I think McMaster's just got completely outdrafted. I have no clue what just happened.
Purple Caster has one game plan that we've seen so far, and that's go fast and be fight as 5 and go in and kill. And they show that clearly in both the compositions they put together in game 1, game 2 here. McMasters, I feel like, I don't want to go as far as say they're trying to play solo queue, but I feel like they're going to try to win the game on mechanics a little bit, which is kind of rough because we've seen how good mechanically purple caster minions are. So it's a dangerous game they're playing. They're, once again, trying to go for that early game, mid-gamey, spiky team that hopefully keeps down PCM, but they got to be more confident and more decisive in this game.
Yeah, I mean, this just kind of seems like last-ditch effort.
Yeah,
just picking up stuff that they really want to play, which is, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, if this is comfort for McMasters, then I would say go for it because there's not much happening left. You got 1 game left, and you're out a loss. But it feels kind of daunting. You look at PCM, and you just kind of see that's a pretty much what I would call a perfect team comp. That's what you would expect. And
yeah, it's got, again, clear goals and what it's trying to do, which, I guess is sometimes counterable, but it's not like McMaster put together a team that just countered them. I think they're just going for, this is probably something they've practiced and played and liked and just want to pull it out and just see how it goes. And yeah, we're just going to have to see how it goes for the most part.
Oh, boy. Okay, well.
So last game we had what we thought was compositions that were going to be very dictated by what their junglers are going to end up doing. And we get to that a little bit now again. Snowberry once again onto the Camille. This time we have the Sejuani over for I Am Looter. So not that like Jin Zhao kind of skirmisher, but is this going to be a game where Snowberry is going to do whatever he wants on the map, or what do you think is I Am Looter is going to be able to do to counter that really strong jungler in Camille?
It's a little bit harder now that he's on the Sejuani. He can't match the early game aggression as well because Sejuani's early game is quite weak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be extremely hard for him, Ludo, mainly because he can't be in the same lane as Snowberry anymore. He doesn't. They don't win the 2v2 in any lane, right? It's Camille with the early game aggression. There's not many champions in the game that can beat that. So I Am Luda is really going to have to work to either gank lanes that he's not, that Snowberry isn't in, and try to capitalize on that, or just go with the objective gameplay and just try to maybe hope that the Dragon Spawn is extremely well, and that's his laners basically outplay Snowberry. I mean, that's really hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard too, and a bit of a shining star in the last game. Daniel was playing the Lissandra here, but right now they kind of actually have it that potentially Daniel's gonna be on the Galio duty this time. So we're gonna see kind of what goes with that. They potentially have time to swap here, but I think that's gonna end up being what it is. So yeah, despite the great performance out of the Lissandra, that's actually over to Spiked Ace's hand, but Spiked Ace had a good game as well over in the top lane there. So here we go. We're gonna wait for the spectator delay a little bit here, but yeah, Daniel's gonna be playing Galio. So you have Kled versus Galio. Could you imagine?
Oh,
can you like go back like a year, and I'm gonna tell you that the mid lane matchup is Galio versus Kled, and that's not that crazy of a thing in this world anymore in League of Legends, that is actually a mid lane matchup.
Yeah, that's a fun thing about Season 9, or I guess pre-Season 9, is that there's a lot of diversity in lanes, and it's actually pretty interesting because I actually did see in the LCK, I think a few days back, that Kled was actually chosen for a counter pick as a Galio and actually did quite well because of the physical damage that he brings. And the fact that he does have basically an engage kind of like Galio. He just does what Galio does as well.
Right.
And it just dominated the laning phase. It was actually quite amazing, the fact that he couldn't really do much against it.
Yeah, we're going to see what that's going to end up being there. So the top lane ends up being a Lissandra versus Urgot matchup. I don't see a lot of kills potentially happening right off the hop there. Urgot's super tanky, and I don't think Lissandra's going to try to mess around too much with that. Just get a little bit of trading going on there. But the bot lane's where the spice comes in. ADC 2K19 is going to come into this game. Again, was not in the first game here, but it's going to be playing that Kai'Sa, that late game hyper carry, being played with the Rakan and Dream, who we've seen do some mad work. But the other side has Malzahar and Leona. This level 6 is super scary for McMaster here. So how do you think this bot lane matchup is going to play out?
Well, once again, we do kind of see a similar bot lane drafted from Katsa, I think, hopefully drafted by the coach. But I mean, you got the independent AD carry with Kai'Sa, who can basically go by themselves, solo carry, and then we got Dream once again on the Rakan being able to left to his own devices. But now we get into the interesting stuff. We got Malzahar Leona, which ironically the kind of playstyles are inversely related. We have Leona, who wants to constantly engage and wants to fight using tankiness, and we have Malzahar who wants to wave clear. He wants to play the Sivir.
Yeah. So it's certainly interesting from a early laning standpoint, because I feel like if I'm Leona, like I play a lot of support. So if I'm Leona, I'm like, okay, so I gotta like not go for every opportunity, because it's not like Malzahar is gonna be able to follow up every time really hard. But the one saving grace on that is that Kai'Sa isn't super good early on, so it's not like if you went in, you're gonna get punished super hard. So I'm actually be really interesting to see how both lanes play it out, if they do end up being aggressive, or if both lanes are just gonna sit back and just kind of, like you said, wave clear and just wait for that to all kind of happen. So we're waiting for that spectator delay to kind of finish up here and get into this game. Once again, if you are just tuning in, welcome to Darkstar Gaming. This is the Imperial Amateur League. Day 1, these two teams going at each other. Purple Caster Minions win game 1. They're now over on the blue side, and McMaster over onto the red side here. As we get into this game and see if they're going to close it out with a quick 2-0, or if we're going to see some fight back for McMaster.
Yeah. I don't know. McMaster is pulling out a lot of the stops right now. Kind of concerning on day 1, but I mean, I don't know. PCM seems to push them to a point where they were like, hey, you know what? They won't expect this.
Yeah, and I think if we see a lot of what we saw in the first game, which was again PCM just making more confident plays, and a lot of the plays that McMaster went, I actually liked their choices, but they were hesitant. We saw that in the Baron play where it was like, yeah, you saw 4 people go for Baron. Like you said, the teleport came in late and it was kind of disjointed. It allowed PCM to come back through the river and walk all the way up there. They got the Baron to about a quarter health, but if they were more decisive on that play earlier, they could have gotten that Baron and gotten out really quick. So we'll see if they're going to be able to clean that up, shake off the tilt a little bit and get back into this game, because it's going to be important for one. Because if they want to start off the season with a win, they're going to have to do it here.
It's actually interesting that you bring that up, because if you look on the side of McMaster's, it's all decisions. It's all very big choices. You either go in, or you don't.
Yeah.
that's all they can do. They can go in.
You have to all be on the same page.
Yeah. And we're going to have to see some better shot calling and decisiveness coming out from McMaster's. Otherwise, we're going to see one person go in and then another person saying like, hey guys, I think we can go in too. Yeah. Got just a bunch of stuff flying everywhere.
Yeah, that'll be potentially a rough thing there. So last game I said, hey, it's really interesting what might happen in the early game. This is a game I more expect there to be just a line of scrimmage, and this is what they did last time, and that is what they're looking like they're doing again. No one trying to go for any spicy invades or anything. Everyone's just gonna wait up here. We're gonna be basically wait till the minute 30 mark before we get any real action. But man, I've been super impressed so far by the Purple Caster Minions, as they've kind of put together 2 good compositions that are just have clear directions, and now are looking to kind of clean up with a clean 2-0 here if they can pull it off. But McMaster, they put on the spice, and if you're a spectator, well, what more do you want to see other than spice? It could potentially be awesome, or be an absolute failure.
Oh, yep, that definitely is possibility as well.
So it's like, I'm excited because it's like, man, this is going to be the greatest game of League of Legends I've ever seen, or the worst. Like, there is like no center in that. Once again, Causation is gonna be able to pick up that. Actually, last time it was PCM that got the first ward kill, and then they end up winning the game. So 100% of times you kill the first ward, you win the game, according to 2019 IL.
So, a little bit of a difference this game. We're going to see both junglers starting on the bot side, end up in the top side. And we have actually more volatile lanes now. Both solo lanes are extremely good, I'll say, at overextending and, playing aggressive. So, going to see the junglers try to tip those favors a little bit more, and some different pathing coming up from both junglers, to be honest. So, already difference seeing in this game.
Yeah, we'll see what they're going to end up kind of doing there, where they're going to push hard. They're going to fight here. Again, we're seeing Camille over on towards the bottom side here. Going to go straight for that scuttle, just like last time. Try to get that early. Oh, never mind, actually. Won't buy it.
Yeah. Oh. So, not much interesting is going to happen in this early game, mainly because a lot of the champions that we see in this game are going to acquire levels. Bot lane's going to be exactly as we saw last game, without the ganks. Mainly just, two people farming and hoping. That's something interesting to note, is the fact that it's kind of weird that McMasters chose to choose the scaling thing between the Malzahar and Kai'Sa, because if you kind of look at both the champions, I really don't think that Malzahar can outscale Kai'Sa, and if you leave Kai'Sa into a farming lane, I think you're just kind of giving her what she wants.
Yeah, they're just like, right now, Snowberry runs right into I Am Looter while Jabbar is right there, but Snowberry able to jump out of here and end up being fine and safe there.
But kind of interesting to see that Luda is a little bit better on the uptake right now, being where Snowberry used to be in the last game, being a little bit more proactive. Very good change for that, and we also see Luda and Jabbar being a little bit more proactive as well in the roams and helping out the jungler, which is really needed in this matchup between Camille and Sejuani. So, already nice changes.
Ooh, tons of damage being put on here on Daniel. Daniel forced to flash out there as the Ignite also comes down from Looter onto him. So, nice little trade of summoner spells here. Looter will take that most of the days of the week.
Yeah. Once again, this is just how the matchup goes. Kled does extremely well into Gallia, and that's why we see Kledman as well being popular. So I'm actually quite curious if he understood the counter pick or just picked it because plays it. Honestly, actually, it's probably a low probability that you practice Kled mid a lot, so probably just a counter pick.
I mean, you never like look at this team composition. Who knows what they practice?
Yeah, I guess so. But so
a little bit even on both sides. No giant CS leads anywhere really. We're 4.5 minutes into this game. Both teams, kind of like last time, are feeling each other out a little bit here. Nothing spicy happened yet.
Yeah, I mean, right now, right now both teams just kind of okay to do their lanes. No lane inherently wins over the other one except for the mid lane, but even then we do see kind of Daniel having the CS lead in the lane, though I guess he did burn his slash. But I want her kind of taking the Singed approach, going to be going those Dark Seals, just for the extra healing in this lane. And
okay. Alright, that just comes telling me we're not going to see a whole lot happening in the spot lane. But here we go, in the mid lane though, we're hitting a little bit of a fight here. I Am Looter and Snowberry right there, but they see the other junglers and both sides just back off because not worth the fight really.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of look at that, Luda's kind of beating out Daniel right now, but Camille kind of has the advantage over Sejuani, so I don't think either side kind of understands how this goes. You don't really see a Kled mid a lot, to be honest. So you don't... kind of hard to act saying, like, oh, we win this or we don't win this, but... So, reflecting last game, we're going to see Cloud Drake being the first spawn here, and I don't think this one's going to be taken for a while. I mean, last time we did see PCM take it because they had superior vision control and just better back timings, but I don't think either team's going to let it up, to be honest, this time.
Yeah, right now, no McMaster with the majority of the wards over there on that bottom side. So it's going to be there, but again, I don't think a high priority, like you said, is going to be put onto that. But, so, like you said, yeah, they're just pushing this lane over in the bot side because, you know, Malzahar doing Malzahar things and catching up in CS. It was a bit of an early lead for Kai'Sa and still up, you know, roughly 7 CS there, but kind of catching back up here. Malzahar now. Malzahar is going to be able to just push in for free over and over again, especially since they have the good ward coverage. They know they can kind of just push in and can do so pretty safely.
Alright, so this is the point in the game where stuff is going to start shaping up. We have to keep our eyes on the ward placement, especially because if you look at Luda and Daniel right now, they're not sitting on many items, and Luda really wants that Tiamat so he can wave clear mid lane, and Daniel really wants an AP item that allows him to, you know, one-shot the back wave. So, and what they're going to be doing with that is they're going to be using those ultis to roam. They're going to be trying to mostly go to the top lane. I don't really think anything's going to happen in the bot lane, but they're going to be looking to roam. They're going to be looking to make a play on the map with the jungler.
Look, speaking of making a play, they're trying to go forward on mid lane, and Luder's trying to flash out. Gonna be down there. The Ignite's gonna come through. I am Looter's now jumping over here as well. Now the fight's going the other way as Jabbar has joined it. The ultimate's gonna come down and take him out. And there goes Daniel as well. So that's gonna be 2 kills going over from McMaster, and they're starting this game hot.
And yeah, we do see kind of the reason why the Urgot pick is extremely well damaged in the early game. Plus that Fear Beyond Death extremely well. And even the Kled, distracting enough with that dismount, doing buying enough time for his jungler and, you know, the Urgot to teleport in. I do kind of like that Q flash coming from I Am Ludo. That was actually pretty nice. Not many people hit that often, so that was nice to see. But yeah, so Snowberry kind of feeling a little bit pressured, I think, to do something where, you know, we're 8-9 minutes in right now, and Snowberry has actually no jungler has really done anything significant on the map, and Snowberry's like, I need to make a play now because I want these lanes to get ahead.
Yeah. Try to go for that, and it doesn't work out in their favor. Gets a little bit behind here, and a little bit more tempo going over the McMaster side now. They're using this spicy team comp to well, teleport is being switched over to Ghost for the Urgot now. But that spell book.
Yeah, so we see the team out coming out from Ludo. He's gonna be he hasn't been using the charge yet. So what he's going to be doing is, well, I guess since Daniel gets the uptake, he's going to be looking to roam at this top side with and maybe make a play in the top side.
Oh, here we go. Snowberry is trying to jump over onto Jabbar here. Ultimate's going to come down from Spike Days. Teleport is coming through to try to save Jabbar here. I Am Looter has now made his way over to this fight, so Snowberry's in trouble, so Jabbar will pick up the first kill. I want Hers trying to flash in and get him to somewhere. Ultimate comes in from Looter, but he's just like more like, hey, I'm here, guys. What's up? How's it going? And big play put together by McMaster. They're now looking over at this top tower.
And you can kind of see the difference in potential between... Oh, okay.
Oh, ouch. Oh, Daniel. Oh. Can you pick up a kill at least? He's trying to do it. He's going to be able to pick up one of those kills to trade that, but he's going to pay for his life. Double kill goes over to I Am Looter. Probably not super worth that teleport, and they're also going to take this tower, so everything sliding in favor of McMaster now. And hey,
Causation just left to the dust. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Causation just trying to hold off this tower, but you know, that Leona.
Ooh, that's actually not that bad of an idea. I actually like Causation when clear the wave, walks up, tries to push a little bit, because there's a very little chance that they're going to be able to kill him.
Right.
So, like, I do kind of like the effort from him, but going back to that, you can kind of see the difference between proactive play and desperate play, because we see Snowberry 2 times in a row now make a desperate play in the attempts to do something in this game, and unfortunately falls further and further behind, because a lot of Camille's potential depends on hitting her E, because she gets the attack speed, she gets a temporary stun, right? But if you're going in the top lane, and if you go, even in the mid lane, right? It's a very wide lane to hit stuff, and he missed it both times.
Yeah.
But
here we go. Master's putting it together now. They got a almost 3,000 gold lead. I Am Looter's looking at Dream now, and he's like, Dream, what are you doing? What are you doing in my jungle over here? He's fighting a lot of people, but here comes the rest of the PCM team to cause this fight. Causation's going to be able to pick up kill there. Daniel's going to be able to trade that one. So 1 for 1. Kill going to a more important member on the PCM side, so I guess he'll take that, and they look at this dragon now.
This is the moment where you kind of have to realize that playing tanks is a little bit easier than kind of the draft that we've been seeing, because we've seen Snowberry pick up the Camille both games, and we see I Am Ludo pick up the Zinsao last game. And they had mixed results. Like you can make a case where Snowberry did play extremely well in the early game, but he did kind of get out of a lot of the ganks by a hair or just by luck. Like, oh, okay. That happened. But and you can kind of feel like both these junglers don't seem extremely comfortable on squishy champions. Like I Am Ludo is performing extremely well in the Sejuani.
Ludo going for the 1v1 kill under the tower. It's gonna pull it off. Daniel's gonna go down now. I Am Ludo's gonna join here and take the rest of this mid tower.
But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see I Am Ludo just playing extremely well, playing much better than the Zinsao, who was. I feel like when he was playing the Zinsao, he was looking like Snowberry in this game. Right? Extremely desperate with plays and trying to force things.
Nice play by Causation to get onto this. The ultimates could come down from I Want Her. They're looking to finish off this kill, but the flash did come through and go into safety. And here we go. Snowberry now wants to make that play. He's going to be able to get that one on there. Causation is the next target. He's going to go down eventually. Who's going to be able to pick up this kill? It's going to go over to Daniel, and there we go. PCM now making the proactive play on that one after I Want Her and Causation blew their ultimates to try to make a big one, but just did not work in their favor.
Yeah, and it's just kind of the damage potential of a Malzahar, which is minimal with AoE. And unfortunately, they were looking a little bit more. They were trying to force something as well, as you can see, but unfortunately, they didn't respect the global presence, and it didn't even require Hero's entrance to do that.
Yeah, like it was a nice hit by Causation to get that E on them, but it was just like not an engage they should have taken without the actual knowledge of what the rest of the Purple Caster minions were doing. So, you know, good on Purple Caster minions to basically counterplay that one and kind of get themselves back in the team. The only unfortunate part is those aren't the members with the bounties on their heads.
Yeah. But 3k gold behind, not the most significant. As we see in the item differential, to be honest. I mean, Ludo hasn't even completed an item yet, mainly because he wants to TM out for wave flip, but 3k gold lead, nothing too significant, just like the 1k gold lead that we saw for like 20 minutes by PCM. Nothing too big. It's just going to be reliant on these players and how they play the champions, and so far, McMaster's doing the better job.
Yeah, they're doing that. And trying to push in some lanes here. Some of these turrets are starting to get low on health here. See if someone gets that first brick now. They continue to push on this tower. Is Jabbar. But Sejuani is over on the top side, so we can potentially see a tower dive coming up if they want to set this up. But there's a pink ward there, and he's going to be spotted out if he does go for it. Meanwhile, Snowberry and Causation are fighting over here in the river. And they're continuing going. Daniel's right there as well. Kaisa Q's, but they're just gonna back up.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so Causation burns the flash there, being overly aggressive with no backup, unfortunately. Gets caught by the, catching team from PCM, but it is quite unfortunate for McMasters that the top lane is Alessandra, but this turret's gonna go down eventually. Like
the first turret's going down. They try to use ultimate to also pick up a kill on the other side, but Sandra is going to get away. But there you go. First tower going over to McMaster here. I Want Her trying to force them out of here. Causation's made their way here. They were looking to just step up to try to make a play, but wisely backs off is the bot lane of Purple Caster minions. Snowberry's right here now, though, as well, if they want to go for this tower dive, but it is risky. They don't have vision of the enemy jungler, I don't think, so they don't know if he's near or around, so they decide to back off.
Yeah. And that's the wise choice here, because we see TP coming from Jabal. He has it up, and they don't want to mess with the same thing, but even though Jabal is rotating down already, and I think this is where they're going to be going for this bot lane turret if they have the numbers. But so we're going to see a little bit of a standstill, but Rift Herald is going to be the priority now, and Dragon is going to be coming up very soon. So we're going to see a little bit more action in this game. Perhaps some leads, but
Sejuani able to pick up that Rift Herald. solo.
Yeah.
To get that there. See, we're going to push that over there. The dragon, of course. Infernal Drake, as you mentioned, is right there, and it's spawning now, so some priorities being put onto that. So here we see the Sejuani starting that up. I am Looter and the rest of his team are there. No, there's a ward there, seen, but no good positioning for PCM to come and take advantage of that ward. And so it's just going to be an easy dragon. And McMaster continues to dictate the play here.
Yeah, and you can kind of see the positioning from Jabal is just superior to that of Spiked Ace, mainly due to the fact that he pushed in top lane, and Spiked Ace has no pressure.
Here we go. Hextech Ultimatum is going to come down right onto Jabbar. They're going to continue to fight that, but he's a tanky boy, and he's going to take a much of that one here. Here comes the rest of the team as they continue on this fight. The first kill is going to go down to Jabbar. He's able to pick up that one. Another one's going to be over there. He's going to get that double kill. That's going to be 4 members down for PCM, and they're going to use that Imperial. They're going to pick up possibly a couple towers here.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between Lissandra middle and Lissandra top. And that difference is mainly pressure, because if you looked at last game, actually, you know what, we're just going to talk about Lissandra in general here, because Lissandra only has 1 item. That's Proto Belt, and her damage is very minimal without the first abilities.
Kaisa decided to stay bottom lane to push out and get a tower, but they also then lose the inhibitor tower as well. For that. So not a great trade, and this is a snowball going completely in favor of McMaster right now, and they're just, I guess they must practice this comp at least a little bit because they're playing it so well.
And I mean, this is what we should have saw last game. The early game aggression, the confidence coming out from the players, and just the comfort of playing a comp that the cohesion is so good. Well, I'm referring to the last comp, not this comp. This comp is a little bit crazy, but
it is a little bit crazy. But they're making it look real good.
Yes. And yeah, so this is how the game should have looked for McMaster's last game, because they have the comp to do so, and I guess somehow they look a little bit better on, you know, these unorthodox picks being put together.
Yeah, like they're exactly what you said. They're making the plays we kind of expected that they were going to try to make in the first one, and maybe they needed that warm up. Like, you don't necessarily want to be the team that needs to lose game 1 because you need to warm up, but basically they were able to shake that off, and it's always impressive to me, a team that can shake off a loss and come back with their game plan and execute it so well like they're doing it so far. This game's not over yet, to be fair, but they're doing it really well right now.
All right. So, Bim's coming up in 5 minutes, and frankly, I don't think McMasters can do it quickly. They can definitely do it if they either win a team fight or PCM gives them enough time to do it, but I would reckon that's not the highest chance of happening, but...
Yeah, and it's warded up pretty well right now by PCMs. They look to go there, as long as they don't put too much priority. But speaking of priority, they're looking at Daniel right here. They're trying to fight him over here, but 4 members are down here for... They try to fight. The Sejuani ult's going to go down, and more is going to go there. I am Luda's going to be able to pick up the first kill of that one. And they're going to back up there and, pick up that kill onto Daniel, who's honestly not as tanky as you kind of expected her to be. And here the fight continues. The Malzahar ult comes down. I am Looter picks up another kill. Causation's going to end up going down. But more fighting's going to come up. Another double kill. 1v1 fight happening over in the top lane. Jabbar's going to pick up that one. Dream trying to make a play over. I want her is going to have to flash out now. And action all over the place, but it does still mean 4 members go down for the purple caster minions. And they're just going to push in all these lanes, pick up a bunch of towers, and have all the momentum.
Yeah, and you kind of just see the conflict. I mean, these guys are confident. They're tower diving.
Dream.
And
get out while you can.
And we see Jabbar like pushing up to the inner turret and just sitting there in the middle, being extremely confident. And I mean, that's good, a good refresher for McMasters. I mean, they're looking much better than they were last game. And I don't know. I guess with with leagues like this, sometimes it's just much better to rely on what you.
Oh, Snowberry trying to make a big play there, but nice splash by Looter, and then you use the punt to try to jump away. But here Daniel comes and finally gets on top of Looter. Let's see if the rest of PCM is going to be able to follow us up. Jabbar's going to be able to pick up that kill, though. Oh, melts him. 3 and 6 right now is Daniel in the mid lane, who a person who was so strong last game. I think had a perfect KD. I can't even remember if he died last game, and is now not looking so great.
Yeah, it's not fun. But this game's just gonna get worse and worse. Kai'Sa is irrelevant right now. Won't be relevant for another 2 items, to be honest, because the tank line that she has to face is not the most friendly tank line. Sandra is gonna be useless as well. Still hasn't picked up an item in the last 5 minutes, as well as the Galio as well. So honestly, for PCM, this is looking extremely grim. There's There's very little that they can do, especially with the second Infernal Drake being taken.
You're a little bit thinking about next game right now if you're PC. I'm not gonna lie, but let's see what they can pull off here. They do have that middle inhibitor down, so that lane priority is just gonna go over to McMaster, and they're gonna look over to this Baron since they already have top lane pushing for them. And honestly, there's not a whole lot the purple caster minions can do, but try to go for a desperation play.
Yeah,
and here maybe that. The Baron has now started over here. It is almost at half health. It is now there. They're coming up here and trying to see if they can make a play. Causation is trying to see if they can zone them out here. Quarter health left on the Baron, about 3,000 here. Sejuani ult's going to come down and spike. Ace going to use that Jonius to try to survive for a little longer and alter himself to try to live. Snowbear is going to be able to pick up the first kill there, but is it enough? Jabbar is going to pick up one more kill there. It's now currently 1-for-1. I want her is going to be able to get that one kill. Now ADC 2K19 lulls. The next target goes down. Jabbar picks up the double kill, looking for that triple, but another double kill is going to go over to I Want Her as well. 4 kills down, 2 double kills happen. They didn't get the Baron, but they don't need it at this point. Let's just finish this game and push down that mid lane.
Yeah, it was just a down date. It was a lose-lose situation for PCM. Either let them get the Baron or die trying to stop them. And
the latter happened, but you're right, though. They just kind of had to go for it, try to see if they can pull one out. Again, maybe already thinking about the next game and thinking, hey, maybe if something random happens here, we pull out the win, but not in this case. It is now tied 1-1 in this series, and McMaster fights back over on the red side. And like I said, the team that kills the first ward has won 100% of games.
Oh my god. You know what? I think you might be onto something here.
Easy analysis.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough. We don't have to have color casters anymore. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta take out that first word. It's just too far of a lead. That's all League of Legends is. But again, they put it together in a spicy comp. We laughed at it a little bit, didn't really know what to do, and then boom, we're able to make plays. So congratulations over there to take game 2. All right, let's take a quick break here before game 3 here. These two teams looking to pick up the first win of the season, and we'll see what happens there. And we'll be back with in a couple moments with more Imperial Amateur League action here on Darkstar Gaming. Back to the Imperial Amateur League here on Darkstar Gaming. I'm Johnny Esports here with the play-by-play. I'm joined by Shadow. We're into game 3 here between the Purple Caster Minions and McMaster. I'm excited for this one. We've seen some spicy compositions come through, and all of a sudden, this is a series.
Yeah, this has become a series. Yeah, so all the logic, the meta, and anything else that you think about League of Legends, we're playing Imperial Amateur League. We're playing McMaster versus Purple Caster Minions right now. That's the game.
Yeah, and like it's kind of funny because it's been 2 games in a row where like we like this composition better, and that's the composition that lost.
Oh, caster bias.
Yeah, so a little bit of caster curse maybe come through. But again, we see from a clear style coming out of the Purple Caster Minions in being a team fighting, late-ish game oriented teams to try to go at each other. But we're seeing from the other end, they always put compositions together that want to be aggressive early, and we saw the composition in game 1, but not the execution in game 2. We saw the execution of a McMaster, so now it makes it super interesting. Also, Oshawott is coming back in for Purple Caster Minions, back into the AD carry position, so maybe they try to get that out of that AD carry once again.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because both Oshawott and AD carry in 2K19 haven't really made an impact. There's nothing like in the game where we're like, oh, this player did something outstanding. That wave clearing, doing auto attacks, playing okay in team fights, and probably dying. But nothing that stands out. And I mean, it's kind of okay when you look at the team members like Daniel, Snowberry, and Dream all doing their own thing, and you got that stable AD carry, but also kind of bad because we see I want her doing some good plays, on the Israel and even on I guess the Malzahar.
On the Malzahar. Yeah, so we're into pick bans here. Cassiopeia being banned out first. Again, if you didn't know, PCM is missing out that first ban because they have to use the emergency sub in Dream. They're once again banning away that Sivir. I guess like you said earlier, maybe they just feel like it's just they don't want them to have that easy wave clear and don't want to have an easy time for Oshawott.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I think PCM's just gonna have to ban Rumble again, right? I mean, and now the real question comes down to these last 2 bans. What do you ban? And for McMaster, I think they're gonna ban the Lucian again. I think they're afraid of the pick, and either that or they can't play it, something like that. They're gonna take it out. But the question is, what does PCM ban? Right? Because they banned the Aatrox last game, but game 1, it didn't feel significant enough. It didn't feel like something that would make an impact, though. I guess there was some times that they could turn because of the Aatrox. But if you look on the side of McMaster's last team comp, there was so many threats. We got the Sejuani and the Kled, the 3-1, the 3 menaces. So which one do you ban? Which one do you want to take off the table?
Yeah, it's rough, especially missing that first ban. You kind of just like super limit those options there. So we're going to see in a couple seconds here what they do end up banning. And again, Lucian was the ban for McMaster as well. So we're going to see here what they're going to end up banning here. And at the last moment, they do decide to ban the Galio out, not wanting that over onto the McMaster side. So first pick goes over to them. See what they end up picking. Last time they had kind of this priority. They picked some spicy stuff. So see if they put it up again.
I think they might just pick up the Urgot again. It worked game 1 really well, and I think they'll just pick it up again. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need logic in this game. I don't need logic.
Okay, here. Well, here's the logic. Sure, it was awful in Spike Ace's hand a little bit, but it was really good in Daniel's hand in game 1. So they're like, we'll pick it, deny it from them. It's obviously something they're comfortable picking. So let's just instantly deny it. But yeah, like you said, they gave up that Urgot there, which was quite a big piece of what happened in that last game. So now that goes over to PCM, we're going to see what they're going to be able to do on their side.
It's kind of curious because now McMaster has kind of locked it into mid lane because we kind of have seen what Jabbar have done with the Urgot into Lissandra matchup. And now you're going to have to play this kind of mind game where you're going to lock in the Lissandra versus the Urgot, right? Because, Urgot has the advantage in that lane wholeheartedly, as we saw by Jabbar's performance. But what do PCM pick up next? Oh, you know what? They picked nothing. Yep, I love that champion. But,
little bit of confusion here as nothing. I believe it's Rise.
Yeah. Okay.
So sorry about any confusion there. So it's going to end up being Rise being that pick there. So yeah, they're going to end up playing Rise probably into the mid laner, but it looks like there was just a little bit of a bug there. So
Okay.
That
I like
blank
this
space
pick.
is Rise.
Yeah, I like this pick. Sejuani once again showed up really well in I Am Luda's hands. Gonna do it again, but I do have to contest that a little bit because the funny thing is, in the LCS, we've been seeing Vise in the top lane much more than in the mid lane as a counter pick.
Yeah,
But
but speaking of top lane,
seems like, yeah, okay, Lissandra's going to be defaulted to mid lane, Darius to top lane. But PCM still have the flexibility, right? Who plays Zogot, who plays Vise? Because they're looking for the good matchup, right? Because, yeah, I mean, like, perhaps you sacrifice... perhaps, okay, that doesn't out, but perhaps you sacrifice a matchup between Darius and Vise to get that Urgot versus Lissandra matchups, or perhaps they just switch it up, right? But
yeah, definitely interesting to see where they kind of end up shaking out there. But it's going to be nice to see what they're going to do with this Darius. Going to look to see beginning in there some spicy ultimates and some good, strong plays. As we get into the second parts of banning over here, Ezreal being banned up by PCM. Last time again, McMaster played pretty well on that champion. Excuse me, rather, I want her on the McMaster side, played pretty well on that champion. So the ban over here again. They're gonna go for banning the Xayah. The Rakan not picked this time, but still, of course, open and ready to be picked by someone if they want to go for that again.
yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see that the 80 carries are going to be prioritized here. Perhaps we'll maybe see one support ban. If one support's going to be banned, it's either going to be Morgana or Vakan because we've seen them a little bit before. But I'm kind of curious, what do PCM do here if Vakan does get banned, because it is still Dream getting picked up in the support role, and you kind of have to wonder what else he has up his pocket.
And that was something that was high priority for him, at least in the first draft. It was like first pick over there. But just wanting to pinch the 80 carries more, getting rid of Tristana from PCM, kind of going, okay, well, they like playing late game 80 carries. They didn't see Kai'Sa really work out, so they maybe went down the list and was like, okay, well, let's take up Tristana from them. Probably the logic going through with McMaster there. So we'll see what Oshawott ends up kind of playing with at the 80 carry position, or again, should say bot lane, because we did just see a mage played last game over from Master. But Alistar is going to be the support pick, so another pick that could be good in the hands of Dream. They're seeing really good roaming potential, and that's another pick that you do can do really well if you do roam well with it.
I think McMaster, you just pick up a mage, pick up another mage in the bot lane, because you already have that 3 menace. Okay, that works too. Ashe, supportive 80 carry that helps out the team, because once again we see the 3 menace: Darius, Sejuani, Lissandra, extremely tanky front line, right? That can do a lot of damage as well. Give Ashe, get them Ashe, and give them support, vision, give them the fast arrow, right, and pick up a support that can also protect the Ashe. But I guess
they got 3/5 of a Freylord combo over here with Sejuani and Lissandra. It's just they're just trying to make a good story here. This is canon. This is canon with League of Legends. To put together. For some reason, Darius joins them, but Leona joins this team as well. Another heavy engage, does combo well with the ultimate from Ashe, so it could just infinitely lock someone down and kill them, which seems to be what McMaster really likes trying to do.
So what do PCM pick here? Because you got an okay team front line, you got some damage. So I think what you need to do here is get a hyper carry. I think Varus, Kai'Sa, and perhaps Vayne could be picked up here, but
Vayne? Yeah, ends up being the Vayne. So. I like it. So again, PCM sticking with that late game team fighting composition, and McMaster once again sticking with the we're going to want to lock someone down and kill them. So we're going to see what's going to end up here. Game 3 of this matchup, and see who's going to end up winning it all together, all there. So yeah, kind of some good picks over here. Not as crazy spicy as that last one, but McMaster does put together a good team composition here. And I frankly like both teams, but there's just like that front line, I think, is what scares me more. If I was in PCM side, like it's going to be pretty hard for Vayne to come in there and do almost anything to Ashe or anyone else that Vayne would be able to kill. So It's spicy there, and we'll see how it all plays out. So let's go down here lane by lane and talk about each team. Let's start with the top lane here. I really like the Darius pick. I'm excited to see what it's gonna do in the hands of Jabbar over there in the top lane. But Spiked Ace here again, a little bit of flex. We don't know yet. It could be either the Urgot or the Rise going over to him.
I would like to say the Vise, because mid lane leaves Vise extremely vulnerable to ganks, and as we've seen in this game, mid and somewhat bot has been the main the hot topic of fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you leave Vise in the top lane, where we've seen most top laners be left alone, right? You just leave Vise there, right? Because Vise is about going to be the same thing as Lissandra in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
Get a boot. I get 10 damage. Woo. And that, and that's what's going to happen, right? So I would think it's going to be put in the top lane, also because it's a range matchup against the Darius, and he has a decent amount of mobility to get away from the Darius, so Darius doesn't snowball well. I mean, I guess it just kind of depends on the players, right? Are you comfortable on this champion?
Right.
But I mean, we'll be seeing here in 20 seconds, so we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out exactly where they're going to end up going here.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, so it is going to end up being the Urgot over top lane going for there against Jabber there. So the jungles, so we have Snowberry now on the Xin Zhao, dishing the Camille pick this time around. And I am Looter once again on the Sejuani, who really played it super well in that last game. So where do you think these junglers are going to end up going, and what are they going to end up doing for most of this game?
I don't think much is going to change in the jungle. I think Snowberry is still going to try to do the exact same thing. Because this is an extremely hard game, again, for Snowberry. He's going to try to force things, and I feel like perhaps he might be getting desperate here in these lanes, because his lanes don't look great, right?
Right.
Darius does kind of well into Urgot. Kind of depends on the players. I think it's 60-40 in favor of Urgot, but Darius can get ahead in that lane. And, Vice doesn't do anything until 20 minutes, 15 minutes-ish, right? So I think Snowberry might be looking the same as last game, to be honest. And I think Luda is just going to do the exact same. Luda is going to do the exact same thing as last game. Farm up a little bit, be there when he needs to be, and just turn around fights. He doesn't need to force anything because his lanes inherently do well, especially with that Vayne in the bot lane. But
yeah, the Vayne in the bot lane is going to be extremely interesting to see how it kind of goes and mixes in the late game. What I always like about Vayne, I'm someone that hates playing against Vayne, is that Vayne, even though it's supposed to be this late game hyper carry, does have so much utility in the early game. While the damage isn't quite there, the amount of utility and the amount of lockdown you can do, where you're knocking someone in the wall and Alistar jumps in and knocks someone up, it's pretty scary. So it's not like a free early game for Ashe to be able to do what they want, but we're going to see if that W poke is going to be done well, or positioning, how that's going to go over in there. So while I'm already started talking about it. How do you think the bot lanes are going to go in the matchup here?
I don't think anything's going to happen. Once again, I think it's going to follow the same suit as the other games. All the priority and stuff is going to be placed in the top side. And sometimes the bot lane is going to come and say hello, but but Ashe is once again a very neutralizing AD carry. All she does, walk up, put the volley, auto some minions, poke them down, shoot the vision, and walk away. That's all she needs to do right now. Because against Vayne, Alistar, especially with Vayne taking Halo Blades now, and Alistar being a very CC heavy support on a very immobile AD carry like Ashe, I don't think I want her needs to walk up. He does not need to walk up because the rest of his team is just going to win for him, right? He just needs to provide the support, the artillery fire, I guess you can call it, right? But I don't know. Perhaps we might see some mechanical outplays. Perhaps we might see I want her play really aggressively and perform a little bit better, because Oshawott has been kind of didn't show that great of a performance in game one. All he did for the first 20 minutes was wave clear bot lane, and then press all when his team was like, hey guys, let's go win. Right? And, pressed a few buttons.
Yeah, we'll see with that. And so much of these games have been actually a little bit decided about the play of the supports and how they are kind of doing. Yep. So Dream in a lot of ways won game one for PCM and how much roaming they did and can potentially deal with Alistar here. And causation over here, meanwhile, on the other side is potentially like, yeah, right now you might just be poking with Ashe through most of the game, but if Leona gets a really strong engagement in the Vayne in the early game, that Vayne could just be dead. So we're going to see like how the supports play, and that's going to be extremely interesting, I think, throughout the most of this game. Finally, last lane to talk about a little bit here is the mid lane, Lissandra versus Ryze. You touched on it a little bit, how Ryze not likely to do anything basically for 20 minutes, but we've seen some attention paid by both teams in both games into the mid lane and seeing how that snowballed the rest of the game. So what are you thinking of here? Looter on Lissandra and Daniel on Ryze.
A lot of Ryze's power comes from the fact that he has an empowered root and a lot of movement speed to catch up to people, and very long combos that do a lot of damage, sustained damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with the early game is that most likely we'll be seeing the mana crystal coming out from Daniel. So all he wants to do, push out 3-4 waves, back, get the tier, and keep doing the exact same thing. Keep pushing in Ludo and keep farming waves until he gets a few items, right? Mm-hmm. And Ludo kind of wants to do the same thing. He wants to push in a few waves, maybe get a Hextech put about, maybe get another AP item off that, and start winning in fights. But that's what Middle's going to be, just farming fest, because they're both mages that don't do much damage. They both have cleanse. You can kind of tell that they're being extremely defensive, right? Mm-hmm. But it's going to be depending on the junglers. Once again, back to game one, these junglers are going to be the highlight. Is it Luda and, Luda or is it Snowberry or Daniel? Or is it the 3v3, or is it the top three versus the top three? What are these fights going to end up?
Yeah. So a lot could potentially happen in these different lanes. And it's leading to an exciting one. 1-1. Again, this is game 3 over here in the Imperial Amateur League on Darkstar Gaming, and we're enjoying this beautiful series. It did look like after game 1 that everything kind of looked like it was going in favor of the purple caster minions. They looked like they had the right game plan. They looked like they knew what to do, and then it looked like maybe they even tilted McMaster as McMaster pulled out this crazy composition. But then McMaster in game 2, of course, came out strong and fought back hard and looked like they knew exactly what they wanted. Like everything they wanted to do in game 1, they started doing game 2. So now it's like, who knows which teams show up in this game 3, because we've seen big tilts to both sides.
Yeah. I think definitely both teams kind of have to feel a little bit empowered right now. They have to feel like they're on the best, because it's the last game, they've both shown pretty good performance, pretty solid performances with a few mistakes here and there, but that's not really the point, right? They won the game in the end, did a solid job of closing out the game, and now they have to try to close out this last game, the last series.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, because what a way to start this season with a best of 3 going straight to 3 games, and both teams really just throwing haymakers at each other and really getting it done. It's been fast, it's been hard, it's been heavy games, and now we're going to see what they're going to do in game 3 here. Oh, a little bit of a, I think, spectator bug over there. The dream kind of bounced around on the screen, but line of scrimmage play for both teams, and yeah, well, we're going to see both games kind of at the very, very early game start off slow.
Oh, wait. Perhaps. Yeah, okay. Ooh. So we're looking at two top jungle starts right now. And
there's the ward.
Okay.
We all know who I think is gonna win this game
now. Guess we gotta close out the game. Congratulations to Purple Caster Minions.
Congratulations to Purple Caster Minions. You won the game.
Yeah,
it's over.
Hard fought game, man. But, okay. So we're gonna see something completely different with jungle pathing once again in this game. Jungle is gonna be starting the red side and gonna be transitioning over to the blue side, which is gonna be quite interesting, because that means it's gonna be on opposite sides of the map. And we kind of know what happens when they end on the same side of the map. We see a lot of fighting, but what's gonna happen with the opposite side? Probably.
Yeah,
Actually, that's quite curious. Snowberry might actually path to take his entire red side jungle and then look for the Rift Scuttle at that side. We'll have to see in a few minutes, but otherwise you can kind of see the neutralization coming from the Ashe. By the way, all she does, auto W, And Vayne kind of tries to walk up, but
makes it pretty hard to CS these minions when that W poke is so punishing.
Yeah.
On the other side, but kind of a classic matchup. Vayne and Ashe, couple of the oldest champions in this game.
So we actually are going to see this. Both junglers going to meet up in the river right now. I do think Zinsao probably has the advantage, and yeah, Sejuani's lanes does not have priority right now, so just going to leave it. Yep. Better option, but not the best for Ludo right now, mainly because Snowberry is kind of asserting his dominance, and now both his laners have to be a little bit extremely careful of Ludo.
Nice little 1v1 here. Daniel and Ludo trading a bunch of damage. Well, yeah. It makes it pretty scary for Daniel there to be pushed up any further.
Yeah, and once again, this is kind of the whole early game bias thing happening. Daniel's been playing this matchup quite well. You can kind of see how he started the W, doing okay trades with Luda, but unfortunately just the fact that he started a Mana Crystal and the nature of bias just not doing him justice.
No slight level advantage right now in the bot lane. See if they try to make a play early on right away here. Jabbar and Spiked Ace fighting each other over here in the top lane. Jabbar getting some nice hits in here. Minions, though, end up making this trade fairly even. Yeah, meanwhile, Looter's being jumped on, has to flash out. Snowberry taking a tower hit and backing away.
I don't know if that flash is necessary. I don't think he could have gone any farther, especially with ones, but I don't know. That's pretty interesting how that was punished. Both Luda and Daniel were in the position to get punished. They were playing really aggressively with each other and very low on HP. So Snowberry doing what he does best, early game aggression, punishing that. Not too bad. Looking pretty okay for him this game.
Yeah, they're able to get through that one and keep going here. Rise has a nice little early lead here in the CS.
But so first Drake coming up is going to be Infernal. Very different change from the last game, so both teams are going to be looking for that one. Wonder how the priority is going to change, because I mean, ironically, we're only 5 minutes in. But.
Nice little engage by causation onto Dream. The Ignite's going to come down, flashes in to get that stun off. The heal's going to come through for Oshawott. I want her flashes in, but probably too late. If they did that flash a little earlier, might have secured a kill there. Tries to W and get a little bit more damage there, but Dream's going to live with the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, okay. So, that was... I don't know if that was the right trade for McMaster's bot lane, because they burned 2 flashes for that. Just trying to get that kill, and I'm not sure if that was one of those things where you kind of just take and say like, hey, we burned this flash, that's fine. But
yeah, like if I feel like if I want her committed the flash earlier, then you had it, but because you didn't, then you should have been just happy with getting the flash on the other side. But it's what it is. That's over now.
Yep. But kind of a difference. There's a lot of differences in this game that than what we've seen on series, which is pretty funny. Inferno Jake, not warded at all. You see that side of the map completely dark for both teams. Not at all, no control, which is kind of weird, considering that Cloud Jake has been kind of priority for the teams. Apparently, movement speed is always good.
Yeah. Especially since you're a team right now with Leona, who does really like that extra movement speed out of combat. So does Alistar. So maybe there would have been priority there if they had it, but damage is just numbers, apparently, according to this team. Yeah, it's being left alone currently. His lane's just being consistently pushed in by Ashe over into the bottom lane. Good job keeping up in CS for sure by Oshawott.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad of a job, just farming it away. Not too... Doing actually pretty alright for the amount of poke that he's sustained, but just really weird the fact that we do see our Wanton and Causation having priority in this bot lane, and nothing is being done about it. We do see kind of a few wards starting to be placed in this bot side river, but just they just keep pushing up, and, you know, nothing's happening.
Yep. Another W hits Oshawott. Dream's going to heal that up a little bit. Yeah, just going to keep pushing it in.
But you'd expect Jin Zhao to potentially come by this lane at some point. But they do see here, there, that little bit of Ashe utility there, being able to spot him out. But
alright, so this is where the action starts coming. Both solo laners have hit level 6, and junglers are halfway to level 6. So this is potentially where we're going to start seeing some action and some movement. We want to start seeing some wards, and this is exactly what we're going to see.
Luder's right there, going to jump on there, try to get onto Dream here. Gonna try to finish off this kill, knock away I Am Looter, but it's not going to be enough. First Blood's going to go over to I Want Her, and that's onto a nice 80 carry.
That's textbook. He did that game 1.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Guess the series nerves are getting to them, and he did that I think 5 times in game 1, and kind of weird, especially since Ashwa and Dream were the ones that were facing that. So, but yeah. So
especially since that entire time the lane was being pushed in over and over again by I Want Her, and all of a sudden they're letting the lane push back. You'd think they would have been a little suspicious about it, but unfortunately for them, they did not see that one coming, and yeah. First kill. Exactly, you pay the price, and First Blood does go over to the McMaster side.
So we do see Ashe now getting a lead in this lane, despite being even CS. Oh, this is pretty funny.
Goes in for the Hex Flash. You tried.
An effort was made.
An effort was certainly made.
Alright. So, top lane, once again, still going to be the same as always. Jabbar not going to be able to do much, especially against a Phage Urgot. Unfortunately, that wave is in such a bad position for him. 15 CS down, probably going to be more in these coming minutes. But that's not what our priority is here now. We do see more action happening.
Oh, here we go, yeah. Snowberry is coming up for the gank, trying to get onto Jabbar, forcing the flash out.
Yeah. Ooh, unlucky. But do finally see some more vision around this bot side river, but no moves to take it yet.
Yeah,
take the dragon.
Jugglers, we're chilling over on the top side right now, and you'd expect that it's going to be quite an advantage right now for McMaster, as they do have that first kill and just Ashe pushing in. They're going to be able to get lane priority and eventually go for that dragon, and that being an easy way to victory there, just doing more damage than the other team.
Surprisingly, for how much they I Want Her and Causation have been pushed up this lane, they have not even grabbed turret plating, which is pretty unfortunate for them, to be honest. And now that Ashwat has picked up the Vamp Scepter, going to be able to sustain the poke a little bit more. But that's kind of interesting.
Isn't there lifesteal? Boo! I miss days where everyone just bought BF Sword and fought.
Yeah. 1,500 gold, I remember. But yep, so we do see the Ashe hitting level 6, and the real question is, where's that enchanted Foster going to be going at the very first? Are we going to be looking for a long range one, or are we just going to be looking for...
I imagine it's going to be used to try to start making work over onto this Drake.
Yeah.
Back up now, finish off that Blade of the Ruin King, and then, yeah, like I said, really start thinking about going for that Red Drake here. It is being started over right now by the purple caster minions. They don't really have vision of it right now. So this might just be a free dragon.
This is just weird. Oh, man. Next is Mountain Drake. But
yeah, it was all kind of set up for McMaster to kind of do it, but they were just like slow to the punch here.
Ooh.
Dream able to get out of there. Oh, I Am Looter trying to jump in for that one. Could take the blast cone out. Doesn't need to, just walks away. Yeah, free dragon. We'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, it's just a back time as if I Want Her and Causation. I got greedy for the back to finish the Bork. And ended up paying the... Oh, no.
Ooh. Yeah, Snowbear jumps to that, but... Sejuani is a tanky. Spiked Ace and Jabbar fighting over the top side. A little bit of a trade here. Jabbar done a good job of catching back up in CS, actually.
Yeah.
So there, oh, here comes a fight over into the mid lane. Looter is ulting himself to try to survive there. Long enough for Looter to get into here. Daniel's right here, but so is the rest of this team. The ult from Ash is going to be a miss, but Causation gets onto Daniel. Nice hit there. Looter's going to be able to pick up that kill. 2-0 now is the lead for McMaster, and they look to push in the rest of this mid lane.
Yeah, that was honestly brilliantly planned by them, because earlier in that engagement on the Dragon, Rise used his Realm Warp, though I guess it wouldn't have really mattered since they had the CC, and Causation now being the prime candidate for these roams on the least expected support, which is Leona. Queen. Who has Moby Boots, which is really peculiar. But
so Dream looking to want to get around, finish to make plays, but it hasn't done so in that last game, and so far not in this one. Bar taking a ton of damage, also taking that Ignite. Spike Ace trying to get him into ult range to go for the kill, and it's going to pull it off. 1v1 kill for Spiked Ace. And there you go, first kill for the Purple Caster minions. They're going to try to jump back into this game.
Well, I don't think he had... Yeah, he didn't have Black Cleaver completed there, so he just tried to fight him out, Spiked Ace outright, which is obviously not the right choice. But, losing a few pressure in this top lane, and ultimately the kill is not the important part, but the fact that Nilberry is picking up Lifthold here without any repercussions.
Yeah, there you go. This has finished the game so far, despite the first couple kills going over to McMaster. PCM now make a couple good plays. Kind of put momentum a little bit back on their side, or at least even it out here. It's definitely even it out in terms of gold.
Yeah. It's just kind of awkward, because you would like to say that McMaster do kind of have the advantage right now, in the fact that they're positioning more confidently and the players are playing much better. Arguably, at least. But PCM kind of do have the advantage right now, right? They have the Rift Hill. They are kind of doing a lot better now. A lot of them are scaling. I mean, we even saw Spiked Ace get a solo kill, right? And Daniel's picked up his Archangels, and Oshawat's working towards that Bork, trying to sustain this lane, and actually, full HP right now, not doing too bad a job of that. So, I mean, right now, PCM relatively okay with just farming.
Able to pull that off here. And right now, like you said, about 20 minutes you were saying, Daniel, on that rise there was going to be kind of getting strong. It's getting close to that mark here. We're sitting here at the 14.5 minute mark.
This is where Lifthold is placed. Or not. They might just wait for Ash.
Yeah, they're starting to commit more members over here and towards the bot lane. See if they want to push this out or not. Guess they decide not to.
They still have, like, I think a good 1.5 minutes on the window. Nothing to rush for now, but still kind of interesting. Let me see that turret. That turret was...
Ooh, nice hit with the ultimate by I Am Looter onto Daniel. Daniel's gonna eventually go down here. Looter's gonna be able to pick up that kill, as that kill was nicely secured there. A little bit more trades happening over in the top lane as well. Once again, Flash coming for Jabber, really trying to get on the Spiked Ace. Does get that kill back. Good job there. Another 1v1 kill, but this time going the other way. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Oshawat's looking to try to get a play here. Gonna taste a little bit of Causation's ult, but just gonna be able to back away from that one. Ult's blown by the bot lanes. And Jabber's gonna pick up this tower.
Okay, well, scratch what I just said. Seems like McMaster is going to be taking the pressure lead, but PCM on the Drake as it spawns, and where's McMaster?
Yeah, pretty low priority on the Drake as McMaster placed it on it through most of these games. Causation gets a nice hit onto Oshawott, looking to see if they're going to try to fight now. He's going to be pushed back into it. Is Causation. And they're focused on both the supports, and Oshawat's going to be able to pick up that one, but I Am Looter is here to make sure I Want Her gets another kill. Now a 2-0 lead here.
Oh, wow.
We're kind of doing that Drake in the meantime during that fight, but it's actually going to end up going to McMaster, and they just kind of set it up here. They're still kind of hanging around here, but it looks like it's going to be easy for McMaster. Looter does try to jump in and make a play happen there. Daniel's going to be slowed down there and be pulled in. Jabbar is going to be able to pick up that kill.
And
the fight took so long that Jabal was able to just walk down from top lane. Just walk down.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's kind of weird. Oshawott and Dream were like, "Hey guys, you know what? We're gonna fight them." And then Snowberry and Daniel were like, "But wait, we're taking Dragon."
No, we're doing that. Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication for sure. When they probably should have tried to all do the same thing here. Spiked Ace now pushing over that top lane. Probably gonna be able to get this tower.
No.
Oh no, not quite.
Yep. He might actually be dead.
Oh, I want her going down real low. Ultimate's gonna come out of there, but Causation is here for the save. Not quite, actually. They just ended up trading kills. Meanwhile, the fight is still happening over on top lane. 3 members over there, up there to kill. Spiked Ace goes down. I Am Looter's gonna pick up that kill. Whew. 2 for 1 in the end off different sides of the map. In favor here, and oh, this has been a bloody game.
Yeah, I mean, oh, Rifthill was summoned mid lane. Forgot about that. They do get a turret. They do get it.
Not quite the 3 turrets they got last time or used, but you'll always take 1 when you can get it.
Yeah, like right now the gold charts say that the game is even, relatively even. I mean, we've talked about how 30k gold advantage is not extremely, you know, advantageous, but you can definitely feel it. McMaster has the tempo advantage. They're making the plays and they're being the proactive team, while PCM is trading back. I mean, we did see Oshawott did solo kill, quotation marks. I want her, right? Yeah. But that was a reactionary play, right? That was Oshawott's like, I want hers out of position, let's kill them, right? It's not a proactive play. It's not like, all right, I think I want her will be out of position, because I mean you could see that with Causation being able to take down Oshawott. So McMaster is definitely having the tempo advantage, and they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep making the tempo come faster and faster on their pace. And eventually it's going to be out of control for PCM. And fortunately for PCM, they're holding on to it right now, but it's going to start being lost. I mean, we see Daniel 0-3 hasn't done much yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough for Daniel, who was so key in that game 1 win. A couple games in a row. Just seems to be a target by McMaster. And, you know, probably just a good adjustment by the players and the coaching staff.
So Baron's going to be spawning in 30 seconds. This is one of the times where I'm going to confidently say that probably neither team will be able to do it. Yeah, there's an asterisk there.
Unless there's a big fight that happens right here. Causation looking to try to find a target. It's going to be able to hit that ult. It's going to stun one target. There's another one from I Want Her. He's going to use that chance of crystal arrow to get into this fight. Spike. Then he's going to go down. Jabbar's going to be able to pick up that kill. Meanwhile, Looter's trying to pick up the kill over on the other end, but Dream is going to be that target there. They're going to go for it. Dream's going to go down eventually. Who picks up the kill? It will be I Want Her. 4th of the game. And now they push in this mid lane.
Yeah, Oshawott was farming bot lane because he needs the farm. But it's kind of weird that we keep seeing PCM out of position when the primary goal should be to scale. You got Advise, you have a Vayne, let them get a few items. They're still sitting on 1.
Just I haven't been able to do that. I haven't been able to get a flow going since that game 1. I Want Her now, just pushing that in. Just playing the W, they're just going to back off. But more, steal their jungle a little bit. Oh, well, maybe make a death brush actually. No, decide to finally back off.
Yeah, they're a little bit scared, mainly because, you know, the AoE coming out from PCM is still scary. The amount of stuff that they can do. But Dragon's going to be spawning in a minute. It's going to be another Mountain Drake, perfectly fitting Dragon.
Right, ultimate comes in. They're looking to get onto I Am Looter here. Doesn't have flash, I don't think, so it's not going to be able to escape. Spike Ace is going to be able to pick up that kill. Daniel look over towards Causation. Gonna flash in and keep going for it under tower. Ultimate comes through from Causation. Oh, accidentally jumps over that side. I don't think he meant to go that far.
Yeah.
Double kill comes through for Spike Ace. The fight continues. Daniel's the target here for these two teams. Spike Ace is trying to fight off as many as he can. Daniel's going to be actually pick up 1. They all going to end up securing the kill. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is actually doing Baron over here on the other side, and they could probably just do it, but Jabbar sees them as going, no. No sneaky Baron for you. And eventually force them out. Oh, a ton of action just now.
It keeps happening. Well, half the team is like, all right, we're gonna make a play. The other half is like, but wait, we need to do this.
Know what they know? I think they were like, know what? Johnny has been on a casting break for a few months now. let's make sure he comes back into this game and has to go full speed.
The Baron call itself wasn't bad. It was a very sneaky one, and you can see that they were getting close to it. But the problem was that they sent Daniel and spiked Ace, right? You sent one of the bruisers and one of the DPS sources to it. Like, it would have made sense if Dreams went out. Even Snowberry went out, right? But you need Oshawott, you need Daniel because of the 2 damage sources and a tank. But like, it's just kind of weird that they did that way. But
yeah, well, I think they were just hoping that they just weren't going to notice here. But they're spotted out by a ward here if they're going to try to do this now.
Gonna do it.
They're starting it here.
2 Mountain Drakes.
Yeah, 2 Mountain Drakes does make them do it fairly quick. Now they're actually turning around the fight. It's a little bit of a bait. Daniel's the first target here. He's going to be pulled in. Jabbar is going to pick up another one. 5-1-1. He improves his score to... And now they're going to look back at this Baron and may be able to do it since Daniel on the other side now sitting at 1-5-2 is out of this fight here for this Baron. Let's see what they can do here. 4v5 again. They're coming out the other way. Causation goes in for the big engage. Looter goes golden to try to stay alive. Causation's going to go low. Oshawott is going to pick up that kill. Ash Arrow's going to come in and hit. I Am Looter's going to pick up one more kill. Double kill now comes through for Oshawott. He's trying to make something happen. Does pick up a triple kill, but it is not enough. A double kill comes from there, and that will end up being a 5-4-3 in favor of this blue side team.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. It's only a 3k gold lead despite almost double the kills coming out from McMasters. And once again, like I said, they have the tempo advantage, but they have to make sure that tempo doesn't go out of beat. And right there it did, because you saw that it wasn't McMasters that engaged that fight. It wasn't them that decided it. It was PCM. It was on their terms. And they started beating their beat to the drum of PCM, and you can see how disastrous that could have gone for them. It was very close fight. Very.
And honestly, Oshawott's positioning in that fight was super good.
Yeah,
and definitely try to make that's a VOD. That's a thing I want to clip and watch again, because Oshawott is able to pick up that triple kill and really kind of try to climb himself back in this game. Get a lot of gold in the belt. Pick up another item here. Does pick up the Guns's Rage Blade. So it's getting to the point where Oshawott's actually pretty scary over here in the vein. So it's still kind of standing there as the ending of this game. Now starts another Baron.
They can keep doing this. There's nothing stopping them from doing this. Dragon's not up. There's no objectives that they need to take, and then they're gonna rush it down. And eventually, somebody's gonna have to face check. Do it again.
Yeah, they're trying to fight again. The teleport is coming through from Spike Day, so you can get here in time. Oshawott's gonna be able to pick up the first kill of this fight once again. Shutdown's gonna come over through Daniel, and there comes Jabbar though, picking up 2 kills for himself as well. Now another one goes to Oshawott, but Oshawott eventually goes down. Shutdown comes through, and Ace comes out on top of this fight is PCM. Are you kidding me?
The last fight was on a knife's edge, and unfortunately the coin just favored PCM. I mean, that fight was what PCM wanted. They wanted a fight where Spike Ace was in the middle of everybody. He got the fear beyond death. He could fear people. We have Oshawott free hitting, well, kind of, I guess, and we have Daniel. I mean, Oshawott dies, but we have Daniel. I don't know, doing wise things. I honestly didn't. And once again, it's beating to the drum of PCM. PCM all getting stronger now. We have Gunsu's on Oshawott. We have Muello's on Daniel. And, Spike Ace is Urgot. But
yeah, there was like I said, between these last 2 fights, there was that power spike because Oshawott be able to pick up that triple kill, did a forward getting another item, did a forward into another power spike, and that was a huge difference, which I don't think McMaster calculated going into that fight there and go for Baron. Now they're going to be a little bit more careful about, just trying to YOLO into a Baron again, as the gold lead has flipped as kind of gone even now, but the money is on so many big, strong carries right now over for the PCM side. So a little bit of A-round being played by both teams now here a little bit. They're trying to get in that mid lane priority and then, eventually go for this Baron. Here we go. They're trying it again. McMaster's kind of got it started here. Got it down to about half health. Let's see if they're going to be able to join on the other side here, where the fight's going to come from, when they're going to try to go for this engage. Here comes PCM. Oh, Looter jumps in now, ults himself to mitigate some of the damage. First kill's going to go over towards Looter's going to be able to pick up that one here. The fight continues, lots of free damage put on by Oshawott. He's going to pick up a kill there. Yeah. Double kill's going to come through. Let's make that one a triple. Can we get a quadra now? Let's hear it now. Quadra kill. Can he do it? Does he pull it off? The ace, the penta kill comes through for Oshawott.
He got to free hit that entire fight. I don't think he was threatened. I don't think he was threatened until the very end by Darius. But
oh man,
I think McMasters have gotten a little bit confident, especially after going through a game 2 win and coming back from a game 1 deficit, right? And
well, it was especially like they had this game in hand in a way. In a lot of ways, they were snowballing a lot of their favor, but this is exactly what you kind of fear going into these two comps. You have a Vayne that's super late game, you have a Ryze that's super late game. They just do so much damage, and on Ryze's damage, again, it's so much AoE damage that it really sets up the Vayne to just kind of, you know, get a couple auto attacks on each person. If you let Vayne free hit people, oh, it's tough. 3 items now for Oshawott. And
if Funnel Drake is live, then I don't think McMasters will be... They do not want to contest this. Oh no.
Oh, but they are certainly going to try here. They just want to fight over and over again, which might not be the best mode for them right now, but
okay.
I feel like they can do it. They're still fighting for this Drake. Let's see who's going to be able to end up stealing it. It is going to end up going over the McMaster, but the fight breaks loose now. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it. Once again, Oshawott is free, auto-attacking over the backside. Causation's trying to get over there onto what Oshawott's going to be able to pick up another kill. Double kill is going to come through for Daniel here. And there's only one member left. I Want Her is eventually going to go down. Going to be picked up another one by Oshawott, another ace, and that one is just a fight that should not have been taken in any way.
The real question is, can they end off this 20 seconds on Death Timer's minion waves were not in the right position, and they have to push up mid lane for this. I think they're going to get an inhib to it. They could pressure Nexus to it, but I don't think they can finish the game off this unless they really have the damage to do this.
The thing is, the persons getting up are I Am Looter and Causation first. They don't have a lot of waves clear.
They have CC.
To get there, they do have CC to potentially pull it off. They're probably going to at least get a tower. I don't think they finished the game, but they get that tower. The CC does come through. They're trying to stop this. Here's the desperation for them, but the rest of the team isn't alive yet. They've now arrived, and they're now here to fight. But is it too little, too late? It just might be. The Ash Arrow's going to come through. It's going to hit onto someone. Oshawott's going to be able to pick up that kill. Goes legendary. Double kill comes through now for Snowberry. Jabbar's trying to jump to pick up something. There does pick up a double kill for himself. Trying to go for more. Triple kill comes through, and the desperation fight works, and they get to live another day.
Okay, what a fitting game to finish out the series.
It's been 2 games where one side has kind of bowled over the other, and now we have this game where it's just back and forth action, and they're surviving by the skin of their teeth with McMaster, but whew, it's still scary for them.
We have a series.
Yeah, we certainly have a series, and right now, it's kind of anyone's game. I still feels really in favor of PCM, thank you.
Yeah.
Of PCM here, but we're gonna have to see what is kind of going on there.
I think McMasters have to figure out what they drafted before it gets too late, and honestly, it might be too late, because if we look on McMaster's side, they keep playing it. Like they have a Galio, like they have the Camille, like they have Urgot, right? They have a tank line, they have a lot of AoE. That's not what they're picking. They have Lissandra, they have Ashe, they have Sejuani. Pick. They have a pick potential comp. They pick people off, fight 3v3, 2v3 skirmishes, and use the CC to overpower the enemy. But they've been fighting 5v5s. And in that entire time, Oshawott's been sitting there saying, like, this is the day of my life. This is my time to show off. I have a pentakill now under my name. First day, right? He's adding to that list. He's adding to his resume. Teams want to pick me up. Got a pentakill first day. But it's just that. They keep letting him do what he wants to do, and it's hilarious now that he has 15 kills. That's 15 times the amount of kills that he had 15 minutes ago. Oh my god.
They're still trying to pick this one up here, though. See if they're going to be able to fight this off. See if they're going to be able to defend this. They got to worry eventually about that mid lane pushing against them. Again, that inhibitor is already down, so all they're doing over here is, for PCM, is going to constantly push this lane until that mid lane has to be answered. Because once they have split them up, then they can just fight and take an easy one. They also have bot lane pushing for them as well, so really all things are going kind of in favor right now for the purple caster minions, as this kind of keeps getting pushed in here.
But
Oshawott, the 80 carry sub, playing so well right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, McMaster's, it's really hard for them to do anything now. Like, you have QSS on Vayne, they're always grouped, and they're just going to be pushing up mid lane, and they have Super Minion Wave pushing down mid lane. They have to leave this turret.
Yep, tier 2 top turret does go down fairly easily. Ash trying to clear these waves, everyone trying to clear these waves. They gotta do another desperation fight at some point if they can find a pick on the right person. You know they gotta hit Vayne. That's basically what they're thinking. We somehow have to get Vayne, and really that's going to be seeing if Oshawott makes a big mistake here.
Yeah, I mean, that's... It has to be Oshawott. Everything in this game now decides on Oshawott. It actually always depended on Oshawott before, but hasn't showed up until now, and, you know, last 10 minutes has shown him up to be the sole player of this game.
Yeah, Oshawott getting it done. Did get subbed out for game 2, got subbed back in after the loss, and seeing if that move is going to be paying off here. Looking over towards this Drake. They're going to want, it's going to be another Infernal Drake. It spawns in 10 seconds here. Should be a free Drake for them. I don't see any realistic way that's going to be contested.
Yeah. This is going to be an Infernal Drake for the PCM, but, I mean, PCM looked to have this game to a clinch. We have Oshawott already being a threat, and Daniel has now become an extremely good carry, because if we saw last fight, Daniel was able to, I think, do 3/4 of I Want Her's HP with just 1 EQ. That was it. That's all he needed to do. And he's become a threat. And it kind of just depends. Now, do you focus Oshawott or do you focus Daniel, and how do you split that up? Do we just layer the CC on?
And it's going to be tough here. They're trying to bait a Baron here. Trying to see if someone tries to come in for that, but that Scrying Bloom's going to be able to suss that out.
But, I mean, this Baron's going to decide the game, to be honest. This Baron's going to be the game, to be honest. It's going to decide the outcome of this game. If PCM get it, it's over. I don't think that McMasters have the wave clear to take down Baron minions. And if McMasters get the Baron, they have another 5 minutes to play this game out. But
I think it's 34-minute mark here. Let's see who starts the Baron. They decide to start starting. They're pinging like they want
to. They're gonna do what McMaster did. They're gonna keep baiting it, except they can actually do it this time.
Trying to bait that out here, and instead they move over towards this top lane. Probably gonna just push that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Backs out now. I am Looters right there, right in front of Dream. Seeing if they're going to here. This is that calm before the storm right now, because we know a big team fight here is basically probably gonna win the game. See if
they just need to start it. They just start it. That's all they need to do.
They're starting the Baron now here. Let's see this fight break out or not. They back out. Ash trying to bait this a little bit. Ash is there. They do see that open inhibitor.
Yeah, Ash does absolutely no damage. She's building another Zeal item off of Lunan's Arcane, and I don't think she's relevant in this game anymore.
The Rise ult's gonna come in there, trying to push in now, trying to go in far there. Looking at Looters, who's gonna try to ult himself to stay alive here, but Shutdown comes through. Oshawott's gonna get killed, but Oshawott's already down now. Looters gonna be able to pick up that one over here, so the fight's gonna be able to turn around without that big carry gone. I am Looters gonna be able to pick up the kill. More fights going on over on the other side. The blue team is around to so little health. Spike Ace now is starting to look to see, hey, I can be a carry too. Let's put some fight in. Daniel flashes in to pop that Guardian Angel, and Ash is going to be going down now. Eventually 4 members down.
The fight looked so good, but unfortunately PCM was just too far ahead. Too many items, 6k gold lead, and they're going to be pushing for the win.
It's just enough. It would look like they actually picked a pretty decent fight here, but like you said, just too far behind and not able to catch up with that one. What a series! It started off with a big win by PCM. It then goes another way. Haymaker punched back. McMaster takes game 2, and then all of a sudden this game 3 was this back and forth affair that eventually went to the late game. Team Oshawott able to pull that off. What an insane series.
Yeah, I mean, kind of got to ask, what went wrong with these both teams? Both teams made a lot of mistakes during this series, and I mean, back for the coaches, for Fox Sakes and Kaitsa. both going back to the drawing board and kind of have to learn what they want to fix.
Yeah, exactly. It was lots of learning lessons definitely available in this game, and what a way to start the season. I'm super hyped. Shadow, thanks for joining me for this one. This has been a great one. Let's give a quick MVP of the series. Who do you think deserves it out of both these two teams? We've seen like in the last game, Oshawott, such a strong carry through it a lot of that game. We've seen a game where Daniel was really strong in that first one. We've seen on the other side Jabbar be super straight, even losing in the series. It's actually a pretty tough one, I think, to pick a MVP. But who do you think?
Wow, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. Okay, well, that is extremely hard for me. Mainly because both three games of just back and forth play, and I don't know, looking through just the champions. I think one that popped out to me a lot was probably just Snowberry. I think Snowberry definitely was one of the main benefactors for Game 1. Mm-hmm. Played pretty well for Game 3 on the Zinsao. Kind of struggled on Game 2 with the Camille, but I mean, you have those games.
In the games where they won, Snowberry, I think, did a lot of work that isn't super evident in the late game when it comes to who wins. Obviously, Oshawa gets the really shiny pentakill, but if I were to put my vote, I'd probably put my vote on Snowberry as well. But honorable mention to Oshawa. You can't get a pentakill and not at least be mentioned. So great game. Thank you everyone for joining us again. This whole time I've been Johnny Esports here on the play-by-play. Shadow, once again, thank you for joining me on the Colorcast. It's been a good time. We'll see you guys next time.